So we talked about how long you've been making music. I mean, what got you into making music? What is your like when you think about what you love about music and your core memories with music, like where does it all start for you?
Okay. So I started as a violinist first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In middle school. And I had a liking to it, but visual art was really like my big love and passion. Like I took like 3 years of film in high school and a bunch of graphic design courses and drawing and painting courses and stuff like that. And ever since I was 4, I always wanted to be like an illustrator full time. And that translated into me wanting to do graphic design because it was just like my love for technology and my love for visual art meeting in the middle.
Nice.
But then at some point I was like, okay, I'm really good at photography. I'm really good at videography. I'm great at graphic design. I'm great at web design. I'm good at this. I'm good at that. But I was like, I didn't know how to make progress in each of those fields. Like how do I advance my career and all these things that take their separate amount of time, separate amount of like promotion and all that stuff, right? And I was trying to figure out how to break that mold. And then one day I was going to this like scholastic competition in Nashville at Vanderbilt, and I was going for graphic design. I was just going for graphic design. And they said, you have to do a minimum of 2 competitions. And I looked at the whole list of competitions. Most of them I couldn't do anymore because they were like actual academic stuff that had preliminary rounds. And then there was like the sports. But then I saw the rap category, and I was like, that should be pretty easy. I like to write poetry, so I can try that. Why not? Because it was something I could do with the amount of time left in the like leading up to the competition. And I did it, and I loved it. So then I started like experimenting with dropping my own music after that. But then what I realized was being an independent artist required everything that I knew how to do to promote a song of mine, right? So like I learned how to record myself and write my own music and make my own songs, but then it was like, oh, well, I already know how to make my own cover art. I already know how to shoot my own promo video. Yeah. I already know how to edit my own music video. I know how to make a website for myself and all of that stuff. So I finally found a path that took everything that I loved, that I knew how to do, and finally funneled it into one purpose. And then I was like, okay, this is my life path. I figured it out. Yeah. So even to this day, like everything that I do for my music, I do myself because the whole thing is a cover-to-cover passion project.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And so all aspects being what? You do everything being... What is every single thing? For those that wouldn't know what every single thing is.
Yeah. So I do shoot and edit all of my own music videos.
Okay.
I do my own like promo and album cover shoots. I do my own album artwork illustration for like when I do draw my album covers. I do that myself as well. And then I write my own songs. I don't make my own beats yet. Not all of my own beats, but some. And then I will mix and master my own stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically... we basically do the same, except you make some of your beats.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing I don't do.
Very few.
I don't like making beats. I mean, I actually think I would like it if I got a sample pad and I really got into sampling.
Yeah.
Because I think that's almost like making beats on easy mode if you can learn how to flip a sample.
Yeah.
Because I think I got rhythm. I think I could do that.
Yeah.
Whereas like making something from scratch... I don't know about that.
At that point, you're a composer.
Yeah. So, and I've got a little keyboard hiding over there in the corner of the room. I could always plug it in. I could always try.
Yeah.
It's just a whole other thing is how I think about it. Like if you want to make beats, it's a whole other thing. But there's also a reason that some people are like a Tyler, the Creator, or a Kanye. It's the reason they're who they are because they make most of their music from the ground up.
Right.
Like there's a reason Tyler the Creator has that trademark sound.
Right.
Same thing with Kanye.
Yep.
It just is always them undeniably because it's them. They came up with everything, the whole thing. So there's that. I mean, I think that's the ultimate benefit.
Yeah.
That's the reason that we should both learn how to make beats 100% and just go all in on that, you know?
Yeah, I
From
agree.
me to you.
Yeah.
Because I've been in that boat for a long time. It's just, there's a couple... I think a big part of it is, like, as a rapper, if you don't make your own beats, it's about what you curate. And it's about your beat selection, and it's about how you visualize all that, and even what the ultimate vision is. Like, that's the type of thing you're portraying when you select beats and when you have your taste in what you choose, you know? Like, it still makes you who you are.
Right.
But, I mean, there's also, like, some things that blow my mind. Like, Eminem produced a lot of things I didn't even know he produced. Like Eminem makes a lot of beats.
Yeah.
And I did not know that for a long time. There's probably a bunch of other rappers I didn't know made a lot of beats.
Right.
There's got to be a bunch of ones that I just have never heard about.
Yeah.
Because it's a great skill to have. You know?
It is. And I think
you said you made some. I mean, like, how many do you think you've made?
That are out?
Yeah, that are like songs you've released.
I've made one on my last project, and I think 3 of my singles that I have out, I made the beats for.
Okay.
My previous, like my very first album, I didn't make any of the beats on there, but there was one that I did with a live band that they were just doing a groove, and I just like wrote some stuff and like hopped on.
That's cool.
That wasn't even my session, but crazy enough. But I think one thing that I really do love about sampling, like what it does is it showcases that person's interests, right?
Yep.
So like you're going to hear something that you just like on your own time, and then you're like, wow, like I think I want to sample that into something, but you get an immediate idea of what that person's interests are. Like, for example, if they sample something from their favorite video game, now you know what their favorite video game is.
Yeah.
Or they sample something from another artist, you're like, oh, you listen to that artist? I didn't know that you listened to that kind of music, but now I know that because you liked it enough to make a beat out of it, to make a song out of it. And it's so fun that when I hear like my friends' music that make their own beats, it's so exciting to see like, what was it that you were just enjoying one day that inspired you enough to create something new from it? And I like seeing what it is at the time of whatever, like, for example, if they have a full album, I can tell exactly what media they were consuming during that album based on the sample choices that they chose. And that's always like a really fun thing to kind of think about in the background of like being a consumer of media.
There's a guy I saw on TikTok or something where he would go and he would just go to a record store and just get a random record and always try to make a beat out of whatever random record he bought that day. And that's a fun idea. Just anything. Like just pick anything and try to make it work, you know? And the more obscure, the better, hopefully.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, I think so.
Keeps it sharp.
And like I said, I think if I were to make beats, I think sample flipping would be the way. Because sample flipping's fun. Like that seems, it's really just, you know, learning how to hear things where they aren't, I suppose.
Right. Yeah.
Like how to find it, you know, because, and I was talking with, I think I'm wearing the hat, Backpack Beats.
Okay.
And he was telling me about how they do a beat thing where they'll send all of these producers the same thing to use for as a sample. And it's like 30 different guides, more every year. And every single time they'll come up with 50 different beats from the same, you'd think they would end up flipping it the same way and it would sound the same, and never. It's as long as they're creative and they're good producers, every single one is going to sound different than the other one.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah, to me that's the craziest thing ever. Because I would think it would be that it would end up being the same, but it's not like that. Everybody really can flip the same thing 50 different ways. Yeah. Maybe this guy reverses it. Maybe this guy slows it down. Maybe this guy goes to the bridge instead of that ride that everybody else is using.
Right.
Who knows? There's a million possibilities.
Yeah.
You might think there's not, but there are.
Which is why, like, when people don't really respect sampling as a form of music creation, I'm like, you know, because some people are like, oh, like, you just took somebody else's thing and looped it and made your own thing. This isn't like making real music. And I'm like, well, like you just said, no sample flip is ever going to be the same. A million people can take the same thing and it's going to be something different. So to believe that there's no originality in the use of samples, I kind of understand that as somebody who composes things.
Yeah.
I can see why you may feel that way, because it's like, I took the time to make all these melodies and drum lines and stuff like that custom from my brain, and you're just taking somebody else's. But like, to say that there's no originality in sample usage, I don't think it's fair.
The only thing I think that there's like an actual argument for is that Anxiety song by Doechii that came out recently. Because that one wasn't even a sample. That one was literally the same instrumental. That one I was like, wait, what?
I feel like that was just like a flex, in my opinion, because the way I saw it, for real though, because a lot of people were like, this is not, like, what is
that
this,
doesn't
right?
count.
Yeah. Because
like Ice Ice Baby is better than that, and even that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, and like she had just like got her first Grammy win and all this major stuff. To me, that was like, hey y'all, look at, like, I'm flexing my like licensing ability, like what I can get approved for as a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, I'm such a big global sensation right now that I can basically get the approval to rip this entire instrumental from an incredible classic song because I'm that big of an artist.
Yeah, and
right?
she did, and she absolutely did.
That's how I saw that. I was like, oh, you're just flexing your rights right
I
now.
like that. I like that. If that's what it is, I actually kind of like it because she kind of like stole the whole thing from them. Like that it gets misremembered now if it's played. So she kind of wins.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the move, she wins. But I'm still upset.
Yeah, I know. I mean, not to say that I don't take people's music seriously, but I never really did listen to that song with like, I think fair ears because I'm like, all right, this ain't your song though. And I mean, it's all original, like her lyrics and the whole.
I like the idea of taking someone
of
else's instrumental and turning it into something brand new.
Yeah, it's like a remix though. That's kind of how I see it.
But she's not. I wouldn't call it. Yeah, it's kind of a remix, but I think like it kind of surpasses a remix if the concept is entirely different than the original song, which it is. So if you think that her song is so powerful, then you enjoy it so much, I think you could justify it in the sense that she's doing something completely different. Because like, I think about it like a fun thing to do would be maybe to take another song that's completely famous that everybody knows and make your own song over it. And just make it something completely different. And I bet if you're good enough, it'll be so catchy and so good, they'll almost think like, damn, it's like almost like this is his beat and not the. I can't even remember. How did the original song go?
That's how Flo Milli with the beef instrumental. You familiar with that?
No. Tell me.
So Playboi Carti and Ethereal had a song called Beef that they put out that was like big.
Yeah.
But then Flo Milli did a remix to that same beat. It was just her own song, but like she just used that beat and that shit blew up like crazy. And that's what like boosted her career to the mainstream.
That's awesome.
But like, yeah, it was sick.
And it was bigger than the original song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm a little disappointed about because I was a huge fan of the original song, which I still am. But like that, I used to listen to that thing in the gym and like all the time. But I'd say like even with if you use somebody else's instrumental and you make a completely different song out of it, in the realm of hip hop, that is still like technically classified in definition a remix, because it's like you're taking somebody else's instrumental and you're making your own song to it, and it's like in the description, like if you put it on YouTube, it'd be like, say I use a J. Cole beat, but I make my own entire original song out of it. It would still be like Esmod song title, J. Cole original song title remix. You know who I just
realized does that? I completely forgot. It was skipping my mind. Is Joyner Lucas. He does that all the time.
Yeah.
And he does exactly what I'm talking about, where he'll just take their song, except he at least addresses the original concept. What I'm talking about is at least you would just go completely off script and just leave all that alone. Yeah. He at least sticks to the script of like what the original song is, and then he does the whole remix thing. But you're right, because classic hip hop theory would say that is a remix, and that is the final decision of the court.
Yes,
there is no arguing against it. It's a remix.
You know, and the Joyner Lucas thing you just mentioned is like that almost kind of feels like a YouTube-y type of gimmick, which makes me think of. Are you familiar with a rapper named Futuristic?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how he like got rap credibility from doing like the social pranks of like, oh, I'm a nerd, can I rap for you with my like boombox and like I have my little glasses and
was he the one that started all of that?
I don't know, but probably because when he was doing it, I believe he was the first to be doing it.
Yeah,
because it was really like early.
Was it the in the studio format, or was it different? Like someone nerd shows up to the studio and then or was what was he doing?
He would go
exactly?
on the street, so he would have his songs that were already made, already out, and then he would like put on like a super Steve Urkel type fit, like overalls, tucked in shirt, big glasses, you know, and like kind of be like, hi, can I? He's like, I have a boombox, and he'd be like, can I rap for you? And people would be like, yeah, go ahead. And then he would just start spazzing, right? And then they'd be like, oh my God, this dude is like actually like cool. You know what I'm saying? But he would kind of show up lame, quote unquote.
Yep.
But I always remember him having a really big gripe with like, because he has multiple songs with millions and millions of streams in like 2020, like 2014, 2015-ish, 2016-ish, which at the time, like 1 million streams was really hard to come by, or 1 million views on YouTube was really hard to come by. Not as much as it is now, right?
Yeah.
And because people will go randomly viral and get like 16 million views on something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
and nowadays it doesn't mean like, I mean, it's crazy. Viral used to be 100,000 views.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now that's like And like even
Now
if you got
100,000 is
50,000, that'd be like great. But like
yeah,
you have
100,000 is like, oh, this is okay. This
Yeah.
is an okay thing, I guess. But it's like 1 million is, I don't even think 1 million's viral. But like 1 million is that's like the low end of viral. That's like if you were saying what is middle class, like, well, to even get to middle class, like low end middle class is like 40,000, 50,000 a year. Most people aren't even lower middle class.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
Right,
like
exactly.
lower end viral isn't even, like, it's a lot, but it's really not.
No, it's not. And he would get like multiple millions of things, and he always felt like he deserved to be on like the freshman double XL ciphers,
Yeah.
and he never.
And
got,
he's a talented rapper. For the
Yeah,
record,
extremely
he
talented
was
rapper,
always
great
great
writer.
lyrically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he never got selected for those type of things, even though he had the numbers to back it up. And he also never really got considered for Grammys either. But I think the reason for that being was because people saw him as like the YouTuber or the rapper who's on YouTube and raps on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because he used like a gimmick to get big. And then people only really knew him off the gimmick, even though he had great music. So it was like he had a marketing method that worked, that got people to listen to his music, but it was only through the lens of like, this is the guy who raps really well that pretends to be a nerd on YouTube to get people to listen to his music, and was never taken seriously as a rapper, just as a rapper, for the numbers and the writing and all that stuff, because everybody associated him with his YouTube marketing and saw it as more of like a, like his music connected to his YouTube channel and not the other way around.
Well, and I think like the problem is everybody's trying to get noticed. So everybody just wants people to look at them in the first place. And so that's constantly the problem, is how do I get people to look at me in the first place?
Right.
And that's how you end up doing something like that. And I think the problem is you have to, like, if it doesn't, like, I think he could have even been fine if he had topped it somehow or found another thing for people to remember instead of that. Because, like, I think the trick that social media will give you is, oh, you know that viral thing you did that did great? Do that 20 more times.
Yeah.
And you'll just get the same views over and over. And, like, I think there are situations in which you can pull that off, but most of the time that's going to lead to the opposite of creativity. It's going to lead to you just trying to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
And what you just said, it'll lead to people remembering a certain version of you.
Correct.
And wouldn't you rather show how duplicitous you are and show how many different things you're able to pull off? Like, for me, I'm always thinking, like, I wouldn't even want people to see me do the same song for, like, if I'm going to the same open mic over and over, I have to do a new song every single time because I don't want these people to think I'm like a one song guy. I can do a million songs. Are you kidding me? I want to have like a whole lineup. I want them to be surprised at how many songs I have.
Right.
I want it to be the opposite.
Take them on a journey every single week.
Yeah, they're like, what's he gonna do this week? We don't even know.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, it's just that, I suppose.
Yeah. I was watching a Tyler the Creator interview one time, and he was talking about how, I think coming out of what's that song? What the album called? Cherry Bomb. Coming out of Cherry Bomb, going into Flower Boy, right? People would like see him or know him and they'd be like, oh, you're the funny guy, like from the internet, because he had Loiter Squad, and then he had like a bunch of just like viral like vines and funny short videos, and like you can look up like Tyler the Creator funny video compilations.
Loiter Squad.
Yeah, I mean that alone, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's its own fan base right there.
Exactly. And like people, a lot of Loiter Squad fans came from liking Odd Future and liking his music, but then there were a lot of people who just liked Loiter Squad by itself because it was a great Adult Swim show. But people also knew him for his internet persona, which was him just being a super funny guy that also made crazy ass music. And there was like a lot of humor in his music at the time too. And I remember he said like there was a point in time where like for a while everybody who would see him and run into him like knew him as like the funny dude, and he was like, nobody's really addressing me as like, oh, like that's the guy who's like a crazy rapper, sick musician, great, super talented guy. And he realized like, okay, I need to like stop being funny on the internet entirely to like basically kind of do damage control for his branding. And he pulled his whole persona back and stopped being a funny internet guy and stopped posting funny videos, stopped doing this. Loiter Squad at that point I think was already over. And was not getting renewed for another season. And then like what followed after that, right, with him like locking in, making sure that people had the perception of him that he wanted them to have, was him getting his first Grammy nom and then like 3 Grammy wins for like 3 albums straight.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how it is so crazy how people will see one thing from you and latch that onto you as a whole. Even if they know you do other stuff, there's always going to be one prominent thing that comes to mind more than anything, which is why I always like remind people, if there's something you want to be known for, just like do that or just post that. Because if you try to spread it out too much, nobody's really going to realize what it is that you do. And I can attest to that because I run that like monthly concert series that I was telling you about, and that started with me throwing my own show at that venue, and it was just for me because I wanted to headline my own show for the first time in Chicago, and I did that and it went well. And so the owner of the store was like, you want to keep doing this? And I was like, sure, but I didn't want to have to, like, I want to just curate and not perform every single month. But there was like a couple months where people were like, oh, you do music too? I didn't know that. I'm like, that's where this came from. The only reason this concert series exists, where I'm booking you for it, is because I make my own music. I have this speaker and this, like, all these microphones and these microphone stands and this mixing board for me. I'm just sharing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's even right now, I'm like kind of turning back around my own social media persona presence because I post so much event curation that people forget I make music. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I need to have my music page only post things about music and my other page only post things about events, and really remind people that like I'm a rapper first and I do the event curation for fun and to build my brand.
Yeah, like it's a tough thing for me because like I've learned that for one, I don't expect anybody to know anything ever. So I really, it's just a good way to go into life.
I agree.
Just never have any expectations out of anybody and you will be happy.
Right.
Because like when people show up and they know nothing about me, I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's where I know where we're at.
Yes.
Because it's like, you know, sometimes they know a lot about me and I'm kind of actually surprised. Like I'm like, they did their research. Because, you know, I think more often than not, people they have their own lives, they have all this stuff going on, so they're showing up to something, they don't know anything about anything. They didn't look into this thing, and they didn't look up anything about it. Like, you're the more rare person if you actually do the research and look into something,
right.
Because most people are just going to walk in kind of blind.
Yeah.
And they'll just kind of wing it. And that's just, and you can tell most of the time, like, just like, but like, because people say to me, they'll say, oh, so you're a comedian? Like, you do comedy? Like, how long are you doing comedy for? And, like, to me, it's like, I have never posted anything about anything with me doing comedy. It doesn't exist. I've never done comedy before. And, like, maybe I'm just a funny guy, and maybe that's how I could take it. But most likely, they just don't know anything about me, because really, I'm just a rapper that has a podcast where I talk to comedians, and that's kind of just what it is. But I don't expect it out of them. I just like, and if anything, it's like what you're saying. I've realized it's up to me, where I have to post more rap content. So, and I refuse to separate the two in the sense that like I want it to be where you can go to the Ruse profile, at least on Instagram. On YouTube, they're separate. But on Instagram, it's like you should be able to go to the Ruse profile and you'll see all these people, because I want that to connect there. I want it to be like you'll see all these people here on the Ruse profile. But in that, I was gonna say Venn diagram, but that's not the word. In that, not montage, but we could use the word montage. I'm thinking when you have a bunch of pictures that make a bigger picture, a collage. In this collage that is this Instagram account, there needs to be more rap. Because the thing is, if one were to open it and see who I am, and they just see a whole bunch of podcast stuff, because they're just doing their, you know, they don't know who I am, they're just seeing real quick. Yeah. And the thing is, I have so much stuff I've made throughout the years just for different social media things. Like I used to do, and I could still do this, where I would just write, literally just as a writing exercise, just write, 16 bars about anything. Right. About anything at all. It's best if I have a theme. Yeah. And just pick a bunch of words and just make up a bunch of bars. And like, just having a theme, right? So it's like if I picked like door, open, close, knob, wood, just a bunch of stuff like this,
like
and then do wordplay. Yeah. And so it would be a door rap technically. Right. And so that would be fun. Yeah. And so something like that, and then just post that and have that be a piece of content. Or the thing I used to do, and I don't do this anymore, and I think it was a trend that's not so much a thing, but it was like people do open verse challenges. So they leave a verse open on their song, and a lot of these would go pretty big. And anybody could hop on the song, and you would just get an opportunity to rap on somebody's song, and maybe they even react to it. And I did a whole bunch of these. And it was fun as a writing exercise, but you kind of just feel like you're giving yourself away for nothing. That's kind of what it ends up being. Because it's like, these videos are good, but I'm not making my own songs. I'm just making a whole bunch of remixes, essentially. For nothing. For no real reason. For the love of the game. And I made some of these verses are fucking awesome. Like, I love them. Like, I think I listen to them, I go, that's some of my best work, maybe even. But I just can't do anything with it. There was one of them that I made. Like, can't do anything. Like, I can't release it on a streaming platform, is what I'm saying, because I don't own the instrumental. So there's one of these where it's one of my most viral rap that I've ever done, and it's this guy. He's playing the drums while he's dribbling a basketball, and that was like the original video. Sick. Yeah, it's like a beat where he's playing the drums and dribbling a basketball. It's an awesome beat. The guy's named Zepp. And he's coming to Chicago as we speak, like right around now. He's going to be in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
But he's really talented.
Understood.
And this video did great on its own. And so I wrote a rap to the video. And it was like an old school type rap where I was... like, this is, again, something I would do at the time, where I would just find I'd be scrolling. I'd be like, oh, that's something I could write to. And so I'd just write something, I'd just go from there. I just open up my notes app and just write to it. And I would just know that would have potential, like, oh, it's like bars over whatever this other video is. And so the rap goes, and I realized as I was recording it, you have to rap it a certain way. You can't just, because when I wrote it, I was thinking it would just be normal. Like, I was just rapping my normal rap voice.
Yeah.
But no. You have to, like, throw your voice. You'll see what I mean. Spit that shit to make your mouth dribble. Drop that shit to make the ground wiggle. I'm so sick I make the house wiggle. I'm an old school OG. Hear the sound ripple. It's mathematic. I snap the black back to past status. No fucking a whole bunch of shit like that, right?
That's sick though. Reminds me of Joey Valence and Bray.
Yes.
Dude, I love the sound that they're bringing back right now. That's
there was a lot of those comments, and I saw Danny White. That was a very funny comment. Danny White, like Danny Brown, but Danny White. That was one of my favorites.
That's good.
But and it's also like Beastie Boys-esque, because that's what they are. It's almost like a throwback to the 90s style,
exactly,
but modern at the same time. It's like a mixture of the two. Yes, because it's like you can do that sound, but it has to have that modern kind of touch to it. In my mind, that's the way to make it work. And so that video does great, and I just remember I could do nothing with it. Like, I remember I messaged the guy. I was like, hey, can I release this on stream? Because I don't want to steal his thing.
Right, of course.
And so, because I feel like if anything, it does great on streaming, then he can sue me. So do I really want it to even do good if I release it? Like, maybe I should get his permission. And he just never hit me back, and that's kind of where it all ends.
Well, why don't you just take the same rap and put it onto a different beat? It's still your writing. It's still your you still made that. You know what? You may not own the instrumental, but you can absolutely do something with a verse that you made.
I'll do it, but it just makes me I just wish I could have the OG, because the OG
I understand,
is just,
I do.
Oh, it's just the sauce.
Yeah.
It's the sauce, man. Like, it's such a good, and it's inspired. That's the whole story is right there. I wrote it within, it was a one take thing too. It's like, literally, that was, I think, the first take was when like I said, I couldn't find my voice. Like, I was trying to find my voice, and as soon as I found it, it was that take.
Yeah.
It was, and like just how I just did it just now. Like, that came out right there in that moment. And you know how sometimes you record and you're just like, oh yeah, that had to be the one.
Yeah. Like, the take when you do it. Like, you feel it in your body. You're like, all right, let's listen to that back. And most of the time, it's right.
I didn't think it would be my most viral rap ever, though. It's crazy how that stuff works, because it's never the thing that you think it's going to be. And it's just, in hopefully it's some viral, or hopefully the viral thing is some spontaneous moment. Hopefully
how viral did it go?
So for like I said, it's my most viral rap. So it was around like 600,000 on Instagram. Or maybe it's 300,000 or TikTok. But let me see, actually, because I don't want to get it wrong. My most viral video, I think I'm almost at 1 million. Okay. But someone stole it from me, and they got like, I want to say 2.5 million.
Motherfucker.
But that one, honestly, I was just surprised. I was like, oh my God, I could have gotten more.
That's usually how it goes. Like, when somebody sees it, then they like that's like the reason I'm
Because
not
they
a
made
huge
a
fan
meme
of
out of it.
TikTok
They
sounds.
turned it into a meme. I didn't realize like you have to reformat what you do into a meme. Like I just posted the video. It's me. I was singing System of a Down, so that's why it bugs me because I still get followers from this. People still see it, but it's like it's not rap. I'm not rapping. So and like it's like we were talking about before. Like you don't want people to follow you for the other thing.
Correct.
Because it's like even though I can do that, it doesn't help me for you to think that I'm that guy.
Yes.
And so here, let me see what each one's at now. So yeah, so this one is at 260,000. The also I'm spinning in the video.
Delivery is insane.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's a good one.
Yeah, like that's really that like
Back to bankroll.
Yeah, like Beastie Boys did it first and like popularized it. Danny
See
Brown.
what I'm saying about the modern touch?
Yes, and then Danny Brown like brought it back, and then I feel like Joey Valence and Bray is like that perfect in between of Danny Brown and Beastie Boys. They're like right in the center, and it's perfect.
Because Danny Brown's actually pretty old school in the way that he's doing it. It's actually not very modern. He's kind of very, very raw and old school, whereas they're yeah, you're right. They're a good midpoint for it all, and I think they've gotten better and better at that over time. Yeah, like I think at first they hadn't sharpened the blade so much, and now they're getting really, really good at harnessing that. Because I almost feel like at first it was too much Beastie Boys, and they were leaning into it too much. And now when I hear it, I'm like, oh no, they're like figuring it out.
Now this is Joey Valence and Bray for real.
Yeah,
like,
and it's impressive to me. Yeah, I'm seeing what their vision was all along. I suppose that's probably what it is. Like, I just didn't see it before, and now I'm really seeing it. I'm like, oh, I get what this is, and they're really good at it. And the other one, this one, the System of a Down one, is at 850,000 views. That's at 850,000.
Well, did somebody else put a caption on it?
They put me at 3 a.m. Oh, and they like, it's genius.
That's all it takes.
And to be fair, like that was
like
just
make
one
it
of
relatable, and then it's a hit.
That's all it was. No, to be fair, that was one of the comments on the video. Like there were so many comments. What's interesting about that is it really affirms me in this thought that I have, where things that are truly good are controversial in the sense that half of the people don't even like it. They don't even know how to feel. Like I have so many hate comments on that, and then the other half are people going like, "No, you don't understand. This is actually good. It's supposed to sound like this." Yeah. Because it is.
Right.
I'm doing it in the way that someone like Serge would do it, but to the untrained ear, they don't know what's happening. They're listening to it like, this is just bad. Because the thing is, like, Serge was singing wrong. So, like, to properly sing that song...
You have to do it wrong.
What are you on the way? You have to, like, go all in.
I'm not over that caption, dude. That's just so fucking good.
It's so funny.
It's great.
And so many comments like me in my car when no one can hear me. Yeah. Like just a bunch of stuff like that.
Dude, that's so good. It is so true too. Man. But you know you're doing something right when you're getting hate comments.
That's like, what I'm talking about.
For people to take the time to say how they feel about something you made, whether positive or negative, is always going to be more valuable than them just like not caring about it at all.
Exactly.
Like it didn't move them in any kind of way, and they just scroll past it.
If anything, it means that you did like obviously there's things that break this rule. You don't want everyone saying this is terrible. If everyone is telling you the thing you did is terrible, probably was terrible. But like the thing is,
but that does not mean it's not impactful.
That's what the point I'm making.
Yeah,
is that impact? As long as people are saying something, if it's making, and it's not like all press is good press. It's just that it's hard to judge an impact. It's hard to judge like what an impact even means. Like there's so many artists who you look back at their art and it wasn't recognized at the time.
Yes.
And so it's just such a hard thing to say, like who's right and who's wrong, right, and what is timeless and what is not, and how do things age and how do you even know?
Yeah.
And maybe this crazy artist is right sometimes. maybe they are right. You know, I mean, who's like the big one that everybody knows? Who is it? Van Gogh? Yeah, that's the one everybody knows. Where just nobody gave a shit about Van Gogh, and now he's one of the best painters of all time.
Yeah.
And good thing he didn't get to see any of that, you know? And I think about that a lot as an artist, like as a musician. It makes me think, like, what is the value of your art, you know? Like, because it could be the case that all these things I'm making now that I think aren't recognized in the way I want them to be, this would be like a treasure trove for people if I get the recognition I so crave. This is all just more fuel for the fire.
Yeah.
It's like great that all this stuff exists.
Correct.
You know, like think about all the great musicians you found where you find like, oh, they made all this stuff before they were famous.
Yeah.
And it's just so much other material that you love that you didn't even know exists, like underground music you didn't even know.
Yeah.
And so I just think that like it doesn't even matter. Like in the end, like all those things don't even matter. It's just ideas.
Right.
And, you know, it's really just the creativity that's the fun part in my mind.
Yeah.
I just love writing things.
Yeah.
That's really why I ever fell in love with music, is because I just love knowing that I can make something from nothing. Like you said, you started with poetry. Because, like, for me, that's what rap is it's more
rhythm
so
and
about
poetry.
the poetry than it even is about the like, meaning, like, I've always loved what you can do with words.
Yes.
And I think words are so powerful. And what hip hop is cool for is you get to use words in such a unique way. In other genres, you don't get to use words like that. Hip hop, it's so dynamic.
Yeah.
And it's so, and words are so specific. And words are so, you can just, it's your individualism and the way you choose to use the words that makes you the MC that you are.
Yes.
And that's awesome. And
Yes.
that's the same thing that makes you a poet.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. How do you represent your ideas differently? How do you take the same topic, that same sample, and twist it and make it different than everybody else?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a different viewpoint than anybody else. If you are a real poet, if you're a real rapper, you just naturally will. There's no doubt about it. You just will.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. I love when I can just hear an inspired rapper and I can just tell that just the I don't know how to put it, like that they are so compelled. Like I heard recently that an artist is someone with a problem to solve. Like
Yeah.
an artist always has a problem to solve.
Yeah.
And I think of it like that. Like you can tell when a rapper is like trying to like crack the code almost.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to solve a problem. And I think that that's what compels me. I just love songwriting so much. To me,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's always the thing. I'm always like thinking about the words 24/7.
Right.
I don't know why. It's just what I am.
I mean, to prove your point, literally, there's one thing that just does not exist in the rap world that does exist in just about every other genre. That's covers.
Yeah.
Rappers don't do covers.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to listen to a rapper sing someone else's lyrics and say, oh, he's a good rapper, because that's how much emphasis is placed on you writing your own words, right? The closest thing we have in rap to covers is taking somebody else's beat and rapping on it. But like, nobody raps somebody else's words because it's not yours. It's not even a representation. Exactly. It's like, it's not a representation of you as an MC. And I kind of realized that firsthand once I started, like, I did a group tour one time, and you know, like, just being on the lineup in general and a bunch of different shows with other artists, and like, you have an hour to fill, right? And what I've seen is like a lot of early stage singers, they'll have like an hour full of music, and like 3 of their songs on their like hour full of music is original and the rest is all covers. And I'm like, I can't do that. I have to fill an entire hour full of original music. And I realized one day, like, that is like, the game is totally different, because you can listen to a singer sing somebody else's stuff and tell, oh, that's a good singer, because what you're listening for is their voice, their delivery. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell somebody who has a great voice, great breath control within a few seconds of listening to them sing. You can tell, okay, that's a good singer. But when you listen to somebody rap, you can evaluate whether they have a good voice or not, but you're not going to deem them a good rapper or not until you listen to what they're saying and like it. Yeah. And it's subjective on top of that. So you can, like, singers, there are singers who are undeniably good singers that everybody can agree that person has a great voice. Whether you like it or not, you can still tell that person has a great voice. But not everybody's gonna like your writing style as a rapper. And so when you have a lot of people who agree, oh yeah, this person is a great rapper, not everybody's going to think that you're a good artist. You know what I mean? And that's just like something that only exists in the rap world. But I love that because it places so much emphasis and pressure and importance on being original and being intentional about how you deliver your ideas and your art, because what people are looking for is your essence in your art.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Your essence. Exactly.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is kind of how you were saying there are people who will put out work and like years and years and years and years down the line, people realize, wow, this was actually one of the greatest things of all time, and we just didn't understand it at the time. And then that person may become one of the most like critically acclaimed, world-renowned, world-famous artists years after their death, and not, you know, like get that recognition while they're making that stuff. And I think as artists, the way that a lot of people see the artist grind is like you building a skyscraper from the ground up and like, you know, trying to make the biggest, tallest, prettiest building for everybody to look at, drive by and be like, wow, that looks amazing. Look, it's here. But I think it's a lot more like planting a tree and being a farmer.
Yeah.
And it's underground and you water it and you water it and it sprouts slowly. And then even years after you die, right, maybe like, you know, because a lot of trees don't become big and grand until like over 100 years later, after the person who planted it is dead and gone already. But I think it's a lot more of like planting seeds and like later on you get to harvest, right? And that may happen in your lifetime, it may not.
Well, you know what I like about that analogy is that it's the roots that you don't see.
Exactly.
So it's all that stuff under the ground, those roots that are moving around and spreading out and forming a whole community that you don't see.
Yeah.
And then most of the tree is actually already down there.
Yeah.
And then it just starts to come out from the top.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy, but that's why you don't plant trees near your house if you own a house, by the way.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
But
it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But because those roots go deep and they spread out. And I think it's the same thing. Like, and also there's no real, like, making it is this weird idea, like getting successful or getting famous or making it. It's this weird abstract idea. You know, like there's no linear path to that for anybody.
Right.
So what even is that, you know? And I think that all those connections you make in these times, all those roots that you plant and all that watering that you do, all that stuff is the most, if you do get what you want, this is the most valuable stuff right now.
Correct.
Like, these are the friends that you're going to trust the most. These are the connections that are going to get you to where you want. Yeah, she snuck in there. These are the connections that are going to get you to where you want to be. All these things are going to do what you need them to do. And really, once you're famous, it's going to be, oh, I don't know if I can trust anybody, and I have worse problems now. All those problems I had before are magnified and made even bigger.
Right.
And all those things I thought were going to go away are just actually bigger problems. And I'm pretty sure that's how fame works. I'm pretty sure you get success and fame, and it actually makes everything that you thought was going to fizzle away and be better, it makes all that stuff actually harder to deal with and more confusing and a bigger problem. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like, you know, everybody's got this oasis, like, beautiful world in their mind that they want to think is going to be like, me. If I just do this, everything's going to be okay.
Right.
And I think the best thing you can do is just let go of all that and just enjoy. That's why I like creating. Like I said, just writing, just the process of creating. Because I find that performing, especially, but like the creation process too, I can lose myself within that, and that's the that's the place where I can really lose myself, and I can lose all sense of time, lose all sense of anything, and just be in this. And writing, I can do that, but when I perform, especially, like that's why if I'm in front of an audience, I just can channel into that and just go away, essentially, because I just feel like it's for me, it's like a whole different wavelength of thinking almost.
Right.
It's like I can let go of all that and just be this. I imagine that's how actors feel. Yeah. Is that you can just let go of all this persona and just be something else.
Right.
And there's something that's almost therapeutic about that. With hip hop and poetry, it's cool because you created the world yourself. You get to create this whole world that you're building and this whole song that whatever this experience you're taking people on, you get to curate that.
Yes.
And you get to lead them. One thing that's so important to me when it comes to live performances is the ebb and flow of everything.
Yeah.
I always think, like, because people neglect that. They'll just, like, put song after song after song with no transitions, no anything. And it's like, if I have 15 minutes, I want to own that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I want it to feel like them to be at my fingertips for the whole 15 minutes. And if I lose you for 30 seconds, I could have lost you for the whole thing now. What do I know?
Yeah.
Because that's how easy it is to lose an audience member.
Yeah.
Like, they'll like, oh, he's being kind of boring. And then they look away because you stopped, because you were being boring. You were, there was no transition.
Yeah.
You just stood there.
Right.
And I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not even that much, because what I'll do is I'll get my live mixes and I'll figure out ways. And what I always like to do is find new tricks. Like, oh, how can this song lead into this song?
Yeah.
And what would be a fun way to transition? Because you can create cool moments like that, you know?
Right, exactly.
Like, oh, this song's not supposed to lead into this song, but it makes sense if I do that, you know?
Yeah.
And like the way you sequence out sets, like, people don't even think about that. And
No,
that's
they don't.
half the performance in my mind.
Yeah.
Is just the ride I'm taking you on. Like, where are we starting? Where are we going to end? You got to have a banger ending. In my mind,
yeah.
If you don't have a closer and you just kind of... You don't want to end up like a limp noodle at the very end.
Right, you're like,
you got to close
appreciate
strong.
y'all, walk off. Like,
I have my closer song. Do you have like a song you like your go-to closer? I know what it is.
I have a song called New World Order 2 that is my usual closer, where like before the last chorus I'll like jump off of like the chair or the stage into the crowd for the final chorus. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, you know, like,
that's good.
We curate.
I love that,
yeah.
Because like my closer is a song called Mr. Whole Time, and what I always do is I stand on a chair. And like, hopefully it's like a stool or something like this, because, you know, at comedy venues, they often have stools. So the trick is you have to make people a little bit nervous the way you stand on the chair. So like, you have to kind of jump up on the chair fast, and then kind of like, I'll rap the song like I normally would. And like, you know, again, kind of like move back and forth and kind of like get the stool to wiggle a little bit if you can. Like, don't hurt yourself, but make it look like you could.
Yeah.
And then like eventually jump down. Because like, you know, one thing that's my specialty, I think it's my trick, is that I can make it look like I'm going to fall and not fall. I'm very good at like doing that thing where you move back and forth and it really looks like I'm a drunk guy and I'm about to fall over.
Yeah.
But I'm actually just, you know, I can just do that, you know, because that's hard to pull off. And so it makes people nervous, and so you got to find ways to use that. The chair,
it's a hook,
and that's for one. The song is just a solid song. It's just 2.5 minutes of just straight bars, and I love songs like that. No hook, no nothing.
Yeah,
just hit them with everything you got.
Huge fan of that.
Yeah, and so it's that type of song, but also, and I feel like it's like those songs like that. It's really easy to like build a world. Like one thing I really like to do. I think I have 3 songs where I really do that. It would be this one. There's a song called Slumber Party, and I have a song called The Rummage. And I think in each of those songs, I'm able to like build a world around, especially the other 2. Actually, I wouldn't even say Mr. Whole Time does it the best, because with the song Slumber Party, the whole point was I was trying to think like, because I like this idea of writing in themes. I should try to write thematically more, and not so much like because I think like what I always often try to do, and I'll see other people do this, and you got to be careful when you do this, is they'll be vague, but you'll be too vague. And then you're not really saying anything.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do I write in that way, but also specifically enough to where I am saying a lot, but I'm not really saying exactly what anything is.
Right.
Because that's the best way I think I could possibly write anything. If I could say everything but say nothing. And so...
I like that.
And I think the trick is to write in themes, to think thematically. Or maybe if you're going to paint a picture, the picture should be a metaphor.
Yes,
it should be. It should all be interpretive. And so the song "Slumber Party," I'll leave it up to you what you think that means. What I think it means, because I like the idea.
Yeah.
What it means is like, I wasn't gonna say. So it's like that you got Democrat Party, Republican Party, Libertarian Party. I like this idea of like slumber party, like it's like, you know, just this idea of you. That's really all I need to say. Do with that what you will. I like that idea.
I'm following that.
Slumber party.
Yeah.
And the imagery of the cover art is like a nuclear bomb's going off. And the idea of the song is I'm painting this image of you're waking up and there's It's like you're in this post-apocalyptic world and a nuclear bomb is going off. That's the image I'm trying to paint, but really it's all a metaphor. So how do you achieve that then lyrically, with making sense without just being pretentious and without just, it has to actually work as a metaphor.
Right.
Okay? So I think it's like, I shut the blinds, turn the lights off. I sit down and I might talk. 4 lines with this white chalk, what my soul finds when it's time what you wipe off. It's something looking like a seance. I swear this wasn't what I'm raised on. And ain't no difference when the day gone. I gaze on, I see a life in the light like a stray garden. I wait up, pinch me when you wake up. Pinch me if you whip me. Oh, fuck. Pinch me when you wake up. Dude, I'm going to fuck it up because I haven't fucking... That's the song. That's one of these songs that I've been thinking, if I'm going to perform that, this is like the one part that fucks me up because I say pinch me, picture, This is so embarrassing.
No,
I'm
you're so
embarrassed.
good.
Wake up.
How big is your discography?
That's a good question. A lot. I'll just say that.
How many albums?
I mean, I haven't been. What I'm trying to do is I've been trying to drop a lot of singles because in my mind, I'm just thinking like I would rather wait to drop an album until I know I have a dedicated amount of people that are going to listen to the whole fucking thing. Or I'd rather curate a bunch of singles I've dropped into one album and not even focus on making one big project until, again, it's an inspired idea or I'm absolutely sure that people are going to listen to it. Let me get this right here because I thought I'd have the lyrics right there. All right, here we go. For getting right with data, pinch me if you off a different type of waiver, but I'm with you if you with me. That's a different type of waiver, different type of future, different type of labor, different type of picture than I pictured when I gazed up. Pinch me if you pitch me if you wake up. Pitch me if you with me. That's a different type of makeup. Headlights in a fog, tread lightly ahead. The next night will be long and less likely. I said I saw it twice in my life. The way blessed is a curse. They see life as a strength. I see life in a hearse. Said one day they'll drop the bomb. We just wonder about the weapon while they plunder what we're on. Is it thunder or destruction? I just wonder when it hit. Is it thunder or destruction? Is it thunder or destruction? I just wonder when it hit. Are you ready for finales? Every story's got a flip. Grab a chair, pull up a seat. Don't go looking out the window while they're walking down the street. Metaphors and innuendo become forms of our retreat. What before was just the info is a form of our retreat. Well, before it was just the info is informed by our elite. It's an ordinary world if your attitude right. I saw smoke in the mirror, but now I'm radicalized. All this necessary evil, these are radical lies. I just wonder when it hit, if the battle is wise. You just focus on yourself. There's debris that you avoid. There's a reason that you're well. There's a freedom if you need it, but there's demons in the water. What you waiting for? You're free to lead the weak to the slaughter. Right there. To take your name, your date of birth. Next time, they'll get you along your way to work. No next time, no issue, I just go straight to church. The faith alive, immortalized, the afraid of earth. Something like that.
I like that a lot.
And so, in my mind, that's achieving what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Where it's like, it's saying exactly what I told you it's saying, but it's also saying a million other things. And I think that's like the trick I've tried to figure out, because I really like songs that do that, and I only have a couple where I think I really do that, where it's painting this whole picture throughout the whole thing, and it's describing a scenario, but really it's not even talking about that scenario at all. The whole scenario is actually just a metaphor, and I want to do more of that because I really like that idea.
It's creative writing at its finest.
Yes,
yeah,
and I really think like I think that songs that have an idea behind them, like a solid idea behind them, like a core thematic idea, are often the ones that just are the most powerful. It's just what it is. It's like what we were saying earlier about like performing and people remember what they feel. Like you remember what you felt about a song. You don't even really remember what they said.
Right.
You remember how the song made you feel.
Yeah.
And the general idea that was floating around your head as you heard it. That's kind of more how we remember just memories in general.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. And so I just, what kind of blew my mind is when I was talking with a comedian and he told me that like, because I asked him, like, how has it changed? What have you learned over the years? Like, you've done this for so long. And for him, it's like when he goes to open mics, he's just kind of learning how to be it's more being yourself and kind of how do I channel that energy and just learn to work this room.
Yes.
That's more what you're doing over time than it is about the music or than it is about the comedy. It's about channeling this room and whatever this is and here and tuning into that.
Yeah.
That's really what you're doing. Once you've done it long enough, you have to, that's the master thing, is to start doing that. Because you've already done all the other stuff. You already know how to perform the songs. You've been in front of all these audiences before.
Yes.
Now, how do you make this audience special, and how do you find where they're at?
Yeah.
In comedy, it's even worse because you have to really find where they're at.
Yeah.
In music, you can at least kind of just do your thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And invite them into your world.
And invite them into your world. Yeah.
I have two great examples of that too. Is like I've been on 2 tours, and on both tours, I have a DJ that I've toured with both times. His name's Ja, and we will write out the set list before like hitting the road, like the set list for each city before hitting the road. And it never fails that every single time that we got to the venue and we sound checked in between, and we've like felt the energy in the room, we saw the vibe, whatever. In between sound check and actually starting, we scrapped the whole set list every time and rewrote the set list to fit that room's vibe.
Because you just knew it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, even if it was like a little difference, but like, you know, we kind of had an idea like, oh, you know, we'll just write them out just in case. But like we've kind of gotten to the understanding now, we're like, all right, we're going to make that set list fit that room in particular. And it always is better than what we had originally planned. And I mean, we have all the files that we need. So it's not like we need to create any files. And honestly, if we do need to, I've got Pro Tools on my laptop so we can whip those up real quick, kind of like day of. And I usually find myself creating new files day of show when I have a new idea for like, okay, I think this would like actually work better now that I know what we're working with. And sometimes even when we see the crowd, we will even make slightly, like if we're not opening, we will make adjustments to the set list after we see the vibe of the crowd too. So we always try to like hard cater to the energy that we feel, like hard cater the set list to the energy we feel in that moment.
Yeah, I've even heard of musicians having like 2 or 3 different sets for a night just in case like they don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because they don't have the access to do it live. So they come in with 3 just in case. Because I mean, I should do that. I should start doing that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
and
like
it's just, it feels so much better too.
Yeah, and you never
I have
know.
a comedy example, but you go first.
Well, no, go ahead. Did you have another thing? You said 2 things. Was there another thing?
So there, an example of the way I've seen that work in comedy was in Memphis. There's this venue called the High Tone that Phoebe Bridgers actually just did a surprise show at, which is crazy because it was like one of our smaller local venues. There's some crazy stuff that's happened in that room. So Phoebe Bridgers just had like a surprise show there that like went crazy. And then there was a Guinness World Record for the longest comedy show ever that got set last year in that room too. So some guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he basically like they had the people there to like record and like witness the thing. And I think it was somewhere around 40 something hours. So it stretched over like a couple of days. And he said like the world's like longest comedy show ever in that room. But my example is they had every single
longest ever
dude,
of all time.
Literally, I mean, like nonstop, like longest nonstop solo comedy show, him only on the whole lineup.
Wow.
Yeah. So dog, like he like started at like 5 a.m. on one day and like ended at like whatever time of nighttime like the next day. And you know, obviously there were times where he would like try to crowd work and the room would like fill up and then empty and then fill up and then empty. And I think he only got like 5 minutes of a break each hour. So he like saved up his 5 minutes until the next day so he could take a 2-hour nap and then come back. So he didn't use any of his 5-minute breaks whatsoever. And like he was working hard to keep it going, but it was a really funny thing.
That's impressive.
It's extremely impressive. He was like, man, I wish I didn't fucking take that nap. I feel like shit.
I wonder what counts as stand up at that point.
I know, right? Like, you know,
like what could he have been saying?
Dude, he told bullshit stories. There was obviously like hours into it where it got super dry, and he had some written material that he would say for like when the crowd would come in. But in that same room, there was every Tuesday night they had an open mic comedy night in that same room, and there was, you know, like pretty much the same comics every single week. And me and my cousins and my brother used to go every single week and sit in the front row, and it was the best thing ever. And you know, most of the time, the comics would have like a written out like routine that they would do every single week for the new crowd that would come in. And for us, it was like kind of stale because like, oh, we've already heard this whole thing from beginning to end like 3 times in a row. There was one particular comic, I can't remember his name because we used to go like 5 years ago, but he was like one of those people that did the same set list over and over and over again. But then there was one week where this guy, like random dude, came up, signed up, and just was telling this like story, and it was just like a super like transphobic ass story. He was just like, yeah, these plumbers came to my house and they were dressed like women, but they were men and they were hitting on me and I didn't want anything to do with it, and kept being like, oh dude, you should be playing football and not wearing dresses, and you know, nobody was really enjoying it. And then finally, dude, it was crazy. It was so fucking stupid.
I bet he thought he was killing.
Yeah. And like, he's not a comedian either, so he really just was up there ranting for no reason. And then finally somebody was like, hey, you're actually being a piece of shit and you should shut up, right? And then like, you know, the whole room came down after that because there was a woman who said that, and he was like, shut up, bitch. Da-da-da. And then her man got up and was like, you're not gonna say that. He was like, get your fucking hoe. Da-da-da-da. And like, you know, just it just blew up into a situation that just did not need to happen. And then like the other comedians were like kind of like carrying him out and like kind of kicking him out, and it turned into this whole thing, and it was messy and it was funny, but it was messy as fuck. But the most legendary performance that has ever happened that I got to see in all of my time going to that open mic was one of those comedians that always did the same written set over and over and over again. The week after that happened, he retold the story of that as his set, and it was the funniest fucking shit we had ever seen. Like the way he told, like he's a comedian, obviously the way he told the story was very funny. Yeah. But like for the people who were there the previous week that were regulars that saw it, we obviously knew. And like when I tell you, like we were crying laughing for the full duration of his set. But he knew that, right? Like he was like, I see an opportunity for me to do a set that is catered to this room. Yeah. And I'm sure he was just freestyling it too, and I'm sure maybe he like planned out how he wanted to deliver some of those lines. But for the most part, it was just absolute masterful work, right? Because it was like crowd work that wasn't crowd work. You know what I mean? And oh my God, like all the other comedians were crying laughing, and then everybody who's like a regular attendee was crying laughing, and like he just seized the fucking moment, you know what I mean? And like I don't think I've ever heard that room get that loud other than in that set, and he just absolutely dominated that night. It was just
the way he told the story.
Yeah,
that was what it was. It was just so funny.
He told the story so well, but it's also like we were there.
Yeah,
and it was already a crazy ass outrageous story. So like his opportunity recognition is just off the chart, right?
Yeah.
But then he's just a funny dude. He has a great voice. Like we love him, and like he just told the story in such a funny way. But that was him like catering to that specific room, and like that he just brought the house down that night.
And it's kind of like the thing I was saying with like a freestyle or like in anything. Like I think one of the reasons that so if you were to freestyle, you need a reason for your freestyle.
Yes.
And I think that like one of the things I've always liked to do growing up, it's like I think it's the reason I even figured out to do that with the comedy thing, is because I would always, if I was given a speech to give at school, I would turn it into a rap, because in my mind that's genius. It's like it justifies itself. It speaks for itself. Like I'm not only am I satisfying what you're asking me to do, I am one-upping it and making it a rap.
Yes.
And so like I would try to do that as much as I possibly could. And yeah, it was just finding ways to do that, because I think like those types of writing exercises are like the types of things that like you can tune it into something and then find a way to do it, and then like it gives it a skeleton, I suppose, and then you can go from there. And it's also like it creates a moment for people to feel like they're a part of. Like it was made just for them. And that's really the special thing about the whole trick of it. Like if you make a freestyle that's tuned into this moment, or you make if you do that comedy bit that only we understand and only we're going to understand, then we're all going to remember that forever, because that was just for us, literally.
Yes.
Like it really was, you know? And I think like it's very hard to do that. It's really hard to come up with ways to do that. Because and I think as a performer, it's your job to come up with ways to do that.
Right, exactly.
Like how, they know me and they know my whole thing, but how am I going to stand out above the rest? And what makes tonight special? And what makes this special? And I think ideally, if you're really good, everything is special. It should always be special. I really think that.
Yeah.
Like if you're a killer, if you just go out there, you just kill. Every open mic is another opportunity to be awesome. Every single show is an opportunity to be awesome. Nothing is a lesser opportunity. Everything you should put your all into and just try your best.
Yeah.
Because people, like, if it's 4 people in a room and they watch you try your best, that might resonate with them more than the 100 people because they're surprised that you gave it to just them. Because again, it's like about making a moment. It's about making it special.
Exactly.
Like that's what people remember. It's the feeling again. It's the feeling they feel when they see you.
Yeah.
That's how they remember you.
Yeah.
Not just what you did. And so it's like, I just, I think that's a cool story because it's that. it's him creating this special moment for just you guys.
Yeah.
That really only you guys get to have.
Yeah. Yeah, really and truly.
No one else really gets it. Like it's like a little inside joke.
Nah.
It's a real, if you like you saw the guy. So for you it's the funniest thing in the world.
Exactly. And like
because you know exactly what's funny about
special.
it.
Right.
Yeah. And if someone else, even if how you just described to me, yeah, it's funny, but I'm sure to you, it's the funniest thing in the world.
Exactly.
Because you were there.
Yeah.
And so I just love that stuff because in my mind, again, it's like that's what a lot of performers miss. They don't even understand. Like you have such an opportunity with stage time and with the microphone.
Yes.
You can do amazing things if you just channel that and just believe in that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people just think of it like I'm just doing my songs. I'm
Right.
just doing the thing.
Yeah.
Just getting up here, I'm getting in and getting out. It's
Yeah.
like, no, like this is a chance to elevate consciousness and to take people to a whole new place.
Yeah.
Whatever your place is. And look, why would you not want to use that opportunity the best way possible? Wouldn't you
I agree.
Like show these people, like say the most, like because in my mind, and a comedian told me this recently, and I think this is a cool way to look at it too. Is whatever's at the top of your mind is probably at the top of the audience's mind.
Correct.
And I thought, wow, that's probably
like that
that's
a
a
lot.
cool way because you could probably apply that to all of this, right? Like
Yeah.
following your instincts, like whatever you think you should do, you probably should do because it's probably,
They probably
what they're
want you to
thinking
do,
too.
yeah.
They probably want you to do it, but people second guess themselves and they
Yes.
don't lean into it. And I think like again, like performing, there's so many opportunities you can take. It's actually why I like trying out songs at open mics and stuff because I think like, especially at, like I said, comedy open mics where they don't expect me. Because
Yeah,
I think I need
exactly.
to figure out like tricks. I need to figure out ways to assemble these songs and different things to do here to make these special moments exist within these songs.
Yeah.
Like that's what I can do at an open mic. I already have the song. I already know what it is. How do I make this song special for these people here tonight? And how do I make little moments? And I actually think that's a lot of what you should be doing at open mics. Not just trying to perform, but trying to figure out how do I make myself stand out?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're always trying to do.
Yeah.
People don't know this. People just, it's like it just goes over their head. And I actually think ignorance is bliss, and it's better not to think about this stuff because then you can have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
in my mind, it's always like, no, it's got to be a show.
Right.
I have to give them what they came for.
Yeah. Yeah, really and truly.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think a lot about that stuff? About like how you come across on stage and like how your act comes across and all this?
Big time.
I think it's so important.
Yeah, because I mean, so my I guess official hyphenation would be rapper violinist, right?
Oh, so you still incorporate a lot of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool, man.
because I was doing shows for about like a year and so, and every
Because I know
single-
you said it was all connected, but I didn't know you meant you're still coming out with the violin.
Oh, yeah.
And
That dude, but like you said, standing out, that helps a ton. Because if I'm on a lineup full of rappers, right, and I bust out my instrument, nobody knows what to think about that, right? Like they're like, oh, we've never seen anything like this before. Even when I tell people I'm a rapper violinist, they're like, oh, that's the sickest
and like
shit
I
I've
said
ever
about
heard.
going up at the comedy show, it's the surprise element. Like that
Exactly.
is so valuable.
Yes.
People don't even know. Like, because people, when you have the surprise element, when you whip out the violin, they're expecting something bad, and that's where it comes in. That's why the surprise element is good, because you're walking the line of like it's risk. It's like I think when you bring rap to a non-rap scenario, people automatically assume it's bad. And I think it'd be the same thing if people assume you whip out an instrument that's not supposed to be there. Like if you whipped out a harmonica, you whip out any like a harp, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. Like, everybody's getting a little nervous. But then you do good, you kill, and it's like you did the impossible. Like now you're even better than you would have been if you didn't have the instrument because you just did something impossible.
I kind of think it's the opposite.
You think so?
Because I think it's one of those things where like, okay, he wouldn't have that with him if he wasn't killer at it. So sometimes, yeah, exactly, right? Because even like when I take my violin with me like on the plane, right, as my carry-on bag or something like that, I just put everything in it checked. Like people will come up to me and they'll be like, you must be pretty good with that thing if you're traveling with it. Because they're like, you wouldn't bring it with you if you were bad at it,
you
right?
must be serious
exactly.
about this.
And I think in the moments where I have my violin at shows, like sometimes there's a lot of anticipation. For example, if I have a song that I have a violin solo at the end of it, but I don't want to like grab my instrument from somewhere else, like a lot of time I think people will not pay as much attention to the rap because they're so excited to see what it's going to sound like. What am I going to do with my instrument instead? And like, I'll have the songs where like I'm holding my instrument for like, you know, a verse, a chorus, a longer verse, another chorus. And then I finally play. And the whole time everybody's like just kind of on the edge of their seat waiting to hear it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much excitement there because they're like, I've never seen anything like this. I'm excited to see how he even incorporates it in the first place. But then when it comes to like doing booking emails, man, like, oh my God. So, because the person I toured with named Ja, he's a DJ saxophonist and he was like a killer saxophonist before picking up DJing. So when we send out our booking email where we're like, we're a rapper, violinist, DJ saxophonist duo, they're like, put that on stage because we don't know what that is, right? Versus if we were like, oh, we're a violin saxophonist duo, can we do a show? And they're like, what are y'all gonna do? A bunch of instrumental covers? Versus like, oh, I'm a rapper, I have a DJ. They're like, okay, there's a million rappers that want to book shows here. You're not special, right?
Yeah.
But the moment that we put these double hyphenation mixes in, because even violin and saxophone don't even like go together conventionally either, right? So it just takes the like people's perception of our show to a totally different level because it's not like, oh, he's a rapper, so he must be bad at violin. They're like, they wouldn't be having their instruments with them if they weren't good at it, as well as the thing that they do on like both of those things. So I mean, it just kind of became a crazy fucking cheat code for us to even get booked in places that don't book rappers. You know what I mean? Like we did this festival called Cooper Young Porch Fest in 2024 that does not, now this year they booked so many rap acts this year, so many, but last year I think I was the only rapper on it, and then I think there were two like hip hop acts, but I don't really know what that entailed. But like to my knowledge, I was either the only rapper in the entire festival or one of 3 rappers in the entire festival. And the thing that got us that gig in a neighborhood that doesn't really celebrate rap like that at the time was the fact that we had extra instruments that they were like, oh, this is really unique sounding and interesting and different. We want to put that on our stage because it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that wow fact. And then, you know, obviously I have to play my instrument in tongues. I'm like, I don't want to get everybody hyped up and sound like shit, right? You know what I mean? So, I've also been trying to, like this new music that I'm trying to make, I want to incorporate the violin even more, especially in the recording process, just to really solidify that kind of experience, to take the people's perception of it through the roof.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just such an exciting, like unique thing that nobody else. I know of one other rapper violinist in the world who's in Atlanta.
I'm surprised there's even one.
I know, right? It's crazy. And she's sick. She's so raw.
Oh, it's a girl too, huh?
Yeah, and she knows how to play and rap simultaneously.
And
I don't know how to do that.
You can't do that. So
No.
I kind of assumed you were doing that. So how are you just going back and forth, or what do you do? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, so
I'll
play this. A lot of times I'll do like an intro. I'll play like my violin as an intro to a song, start the song, do my verse, do my chorus, do another verse, do another chorus, solo, and then just like play out. And then sometimes, so like wherever I'm not rapping, I squeeze the violin in as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to do it.
I appreciate it.
I mean, it makes me again like wish I got more into instrumentals and all this, because I like any instrument that you learn, it's such another instrument for your arsenal.
Yeah.
You can use that in so many ways, and music is best when it's executed live. Like
Yes.
music is best when, like, obviously the performer and your voice is an instrument, but if you can find other ways to make your music more live, it's just so much more powerful like that.
Yes.
It's, again, creating that moment thing.
Right, exactly.
It feels more for us. And that's why, I mean, ideally, all my songs are translated to a live band. I have enough money to just pay a band. Like, I would do what Tech Nine does, where he just tours with a band. 24/7, he makes everything live. Because to me, I actually just felt like I was in a band for a short period of time, and I just remember the energy that band would give me, I would feed off of.
Exactly.
And I loved that feeling, because to me, it made me want to try harder. It made me give more than I already would, even, because these people are doing all this, so I have to support them.
Right.
So I'm going to give it my all, so that way this whole thing works.
Yeah.
And I loved that feeling. It was just
like
so
they're
cool.
making you sound good, so you got to make them sound good. Like,
yeah, and you don't have to do that if you're just rapping over your instrumentals.
Exactly.
I mean, then it's just kind of, you're just going through the motions, and you can make it fun, but there's not much improvising, there's not much grooving, none of that's going to happen. Whereas with a band, it's just open territory.
Yeah.
You can throw in a bridge for all you want. Like, hey, let's just add in this section hey, since we're doing this live, and how about you guys ride this out for a little while, and I'll give a speech right here. And like, you can do stuff like that. You can create little sections, like, how I was talking about, like, don't, because people just do track by track by track, and it'll get awkward. With a band, oh my God, like, you can have a whole
totally different
interlude that didn't exist before, and you can, like, maybe do a whole, like, it's like when you have a DJ for a show, all these silences can get filled, and when they weren't, all these things that aren't supposed to be there, all this tension is broken, and all you need is just this little icebreaker.
Yeah.
All that is a drummer.
Yeah.
Like a drummer and a guitarist and a bassist. So
yeah, I mean, even it creates the possibility for you to have a really dynamic intro and outro, because the band can go up first and, like, play and set the tone, and then you enter the stage, and then it just creates a whole even cooler moment
I've seen
for
that
you.
happen.
And then I just was watching a show
makes
on
you
Monday.
mystical. It makes you a mystical artist.
Exactly, it's crazy,
like,
dude.
oh my God, so and so's coming.
Yeah, like, people don't really take their stage. I don't think people, when they're first getting into live, take their stage entrance as seriously as they should. Because just because you're not a crazy superstar that people start screaming at the top of their lungs and recording the moment you finally walk out because they haven't seen you the entire show, right? Like, I don't think that eliminates you from being able to create a super dope introduction for your own self.
Yep.
Even if people, like, I'm not hiding backstage until I start, right? I'm obviously going to be out in the crowd thanking people for coming, da-da-da. And they're going to be like, you feeling good? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm going to go do my show, especially when there's multiple people on the lineup. I'm not going to be hiding in the back. I'm not. Yeah. But, like, just because they've seen me already does not mean that I can't make a really cool introduction for myself. And I was at Shuba's on Monday, and there was an artist named Madam Starlet who was playing, and what she did was, on her last song, she basically finished the show and, like, ran off stage to the back to her merch table, and then her band, like, just started tearing the stage down to, like, officially, like, close out her set.
Yeah.
And, like, that gave her a really cool exit, allowed her to go position herself where she needed to be, right? Like, because that's where people need to flock to go say what's up to her, which is the merch table, instead of, like, finishing, saying thank you, and then as you're walking your way down to the merch table, everybody's trying to stop you and give you a hug and say, oh my God, amazing job, that was so beautiful. It's like, thank you, but I gotta get to my station, right? And, like, that, just having those people up there not only made the ending of her set even more dynamic and even more incredible, but it also allowed her to get to where she needed to be without it being awkward or different or anything like that. You know what I mean? It just created such a wonderful moment. Versus if she just had, like, her track playing and she walked off while her track was playing, there's nothing left to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, there's still people on stage still playing. You still need to give those people attention. It allowed her to create her smooth transition from finishing her set to becoming a businesswoman, basically, on the spot, a saleswoman.
That is smart.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I think crowd philosophy or crowd psychology is really the thing people don't think about. Like, even beyond, like, what, like, the feeling, it's like how, it's all how people are thinking.
Correct.
Like, you're thinking, what are they looking at? what if I was in the audience and I don't know anything about this person, never heard any of my songs before?
Yeah.
How would I interpret this out of context? Because that's a lot of what it is. And it's advertising too. It's a lot of advertising is like, all right, let's just break this down to the core idea. I'm seeing this. I know nothing. How do I make this make sense? You know, like assume I'm the lowest common denominator. I don't know what's going on. Make it make sense to me.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when you're thinking about an audience. Like treat the audience like they're smart, but also like think, what would I do? Like if I'm just in the general audience, I'm just a fish in the sea. What do I do? I'm just following the lead.
Yeah.
And so it's up to you to lead them. That's a smart move that she did because it's like, you're right. If it's just her, you can't make that move.
Yeah.
Because then everybody's staring right at her and it's just kind of awkward. Like, where's she going? What's she doing?
Right.
Yeah. And I think like stuff like that too, like one thing I'll see people do is it's like a common rap trick is you take the mic, you go into the audience. And that's one where I feel like you have to be really smart about that because I like to think I only have a couple of songs that are worthy of that. Like, and I have a newer song called Ubiquitous that I think is perfect for that.
Okay.
Because literally the song, it works the best in like a long set. Because like then you pull that trick out.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work in like a 5-minute thing because then it's just whatever. You need to have like everything else you're on stage and then this song hits because the song goes, I am everything at once. And then it just kind of goes off that concept of like, I am ubiquitous. I am everything.
Yes.
So for me to be in the audience in that moment is poetic in a sense. It's along the theme of the song.
Right.
That's why it makes sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just go in the audience because it's like, all right, let's fucking, I'm just going off the energy.
Excite
It's like, I think
everybody.
you need to make a conscious choice. It has to work with this. I have to feel like this makes sense for you to be with us right now because otherwise you're just in front of us because it's a better moment for the cameras.
Exactly.
You know, we all know that.
Yeah.
We all can feel that. We all know that.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, it is more hype and it's more exciting, but I just feel like it's more artful when you find a way to justify the choice.
Exactly.
Like we all want to do that, but like, yeah, we all want a crowd surf song, but where we have to make the crowd surf song. It has to exist.
Yes.
You can't just turn a song into a crowd surf. You can't be the slow song and then you're like, all right, everybody.
Right.
Which I have also seen before. I've seen people try to crowd surf on a slow song before. It's actually kind of a scary moment when you see that. You're like,
sounds like it.
Are they going to line up? Are they going to do it?
Yeah. Especially because
really?
during like the adrenaline of the crowd surf song, right? Like people are already amped up and their adrenaline's pumping, so they're ready to catch and carry. Versus like when you're like vibing, it's like your muscles are not going to do what they need to do in that moment because your body's not like geared for danger and stuff like that yet. But
imagine Michael Bublé crowd surfing.
there's like so many jokes about like DJ Khaled trying to crowd surf.
Yeah, DJ Khaled's a good one.
Yeah,
he would probably do it. He would probably go for it.
I'd like
His
to
fans
see
are
that.
so inspired by him. They would probably hold him up.
He would need like a. Yeah.
Well, who was the other guy who was joking about doing the crowd surf? He was like a really big guy. Something Blunts. I was just thinking about his name.
Oh, I know what you're.
You know who I'm talking about?
What you're talking about.
I was just talking about him earlier. Dave Blunts?
Yes.
That's
it's
him.
Dave Blunts.
I forgot his name. I'm glad I remembered. So Dave Blunts, yeah.
Bro, the fucking comments on every video that had anything to do with Dave Blunt's crowd surfing was just like
yeah. And then he went on comedy podcasts and they were like, "You're gonna do what? You're gonna do
like,
what?
Dude, that's attempted murder."
That's attempted murder.
Dog.
And what's so funny is like his fans would play into the joke. They're like, "Please, come on."
Yeah.
They're like,
we can do it.
Yeah.
Trust us.
Which it's so funny because I'm glad Dave Blunts was smart enough to never actually try once. Because you'd think like there'd be a moment where he's like curious. Like,
yeah, like
maybe they're telling me yes.
I mean, do you think he can reach the crowd
Can he jump?
that far?
If he had a running
This
start.
is an outrageous conversation. But
Well,
like,
Dave Blunts would endorse this conversation for the record. He wants us to talk about that. He's probably excited about the PR.
Yeah,
but
'cause, like that's the question, right? It's like if you're too big to carry, are you big enough to even like jump the distance?
Well, it's the catch that you got to worry about. I'm not even like the jump is one thing. It's the catch that's the other thing because there's momentum that he's got coming down. And
great point. So you have to like kind of plant your feet in like a, you know what I mean, like one foot in front of the other, brace for impact type thing. Like
you know what it reminds me of?
What?
I'm thinking of the movie Braveheart when they're shooting the arrows and it's like they have the shields and they got to brace for impact. It's kind of like you all have to.
You would have to plant your feet. You have to plant your feet for
it's
that.
It's like when you're on the
catch.
red line and you are standing by the door because you don't want to be on the seat anymore and your stop's coming, and it's almost like riding a skateboard or a surfboard. You have to widen your stance.
I mean, as both skaters, trust me, that's my favorite part of the ride.
Yeah,
every time I'm like, let's get it.
I think about it like, oh my god, Subway Surfers, literally. That's how I'm thinking about it.
Dude,
I'm surfing the subway literally right now.
I had a crazy fucking obsession with that game during COVID. I'm not gonna lie.
Temple Run was me. I never got into Subway Surfers, but Temple Run I did play.
Understood.
And Bloons Tower Defense, I can still get back into every now and then.
I did like all the tower defense games, but I got nerdy about like Subway Surfers and
really
they had like
There's layers to subways. I thought it was just kind of the same thing over and over.
They got some like super sick ass mechanics that you can exploit and like. I got way too deep in it because like me and one of my old friends that I used to like adore in high school, she and I were joking around one day. And we were like, oh, like let's like download Subway Surfers just for the jokes, and we like played it on FaceTime a couple times. But like, and then she stopped. No, I didn't. Dude, I kept grinding that shit. I was like, I don't think it was supposed to get this far.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I was like looking at all the online leaderboards and shit, and I was like trying to beat the world record because I'm a speedrunner too. I stream on Twitch and I like speedrun games and stuff like that.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, and that just like ended up.
There's no speedrunning Subway Surfers, no? I mean, it's high scores, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a high score thing.
Yeah.
So I've always just been obsessed with breaking records in general.
Yeah.
I love.
What games have you speedrun then?
Currently, right now, I'm speedrunning Sonic Riders.
Which is on which console?
GameCube.
So how many Sonic games were there on the GameCube then?
There was Sonic Adventure, Director's Cut, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, which is my favorite game of all time, Sonic Riders, Sonic Mega Collection if we want to count some spin-offs. And I'm trying to remember.
I think that's it, right?
I think those were all the major titles.
Okay. Because I didn't think, I didn't even know.
Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, shit.
And then after that was Sonic 06. So like, and that came out on like the PS3 and Xbox 360. So in order, because Adventure came out on the Dreamcast in 1999, but then Sonic Adventure DX came out for the GameCube in like 2001, and then I think 2002 was, I believe 2002 was Sonic Adventure 2, and then 2003 was Sonic Heroes, and then Shadow the Hedgehog in like 05, and then I believe Riders came out in like 05 or 06.
I don't think I ever played Riders.
Riders is like, dude, it's such a fire ass game. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that good?
Yeah. You ever heard of F-Zero?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how like F-Zero is not popular because it's like too hard for like the common racer game person to enjoy? Riders is kind of like that. It's got a lot of really like key specific mechanics that like if somebody's like better than you, you're just not gonna catch up.
And speedrunning it, I imagine that makes it even harder.
Dude, yeah, it's so fun. So my brother was like actually the one that was like kind of begging me to get into that game, and he's like, dude, I figured out that there's like Sonic Riders tournaments and it's super competitive and it's really cool, and like he was always asking me to play it, but I was like, I don't really care because I was working on like my Sonic Hero speedrun at the time, and then I was really into Zero Gravity. But he was just also way better than me at Riders for a while, so it was not fun to play because he just kept beating me. And then finally, like at some point in like January of this year, I finally locked in on it for whatever fucking reason, and I was like, wait, this is actually kind of gas. And then I just kept playing it for fun, and then I started like one day I was like, let me just see where I can get on the leaderboard. And currently I'm at like number 30 of 94 with my most recent run being like full of like bullshit mistakes. So I'm like, okay, I know I can do a lot better. I think if I get top 25 in that game, I'd be pretty happy and like call it a day.
Are there any games you're top 10 or top? Nah. So what's your favorite game to speedrun of all the ones you speedrun then?
Heroes for sure.
Oh, Heroes.
Yeah, I love that one because that was like the Sonic game that I really grew up on, and it's like the longest game that I would speedrun. Like I think the world record for that game is like 50 minutes. So it's like one of those speedruns that actually takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Riders speedrun that I do only takes about 15, 16 minutes. Yeah. So I really enjoy Heroes because there's so much more to learn. And it's like this weird game where you kind of play as like a team of 3 Sonic characters and you switch formations and shit. And like with the switching, there's a lot of cool bugs that you can do for like cool mechanics. So I really enjoy that shit.
Yeah.
So I adore that one, but because it takes so long, I haven't really done many runs of it that I've like recorded and streamed. But Riders is the one I'm like, okay, I can spend a lot of time on this and actually get somewhere with it. So I've been doing that.
Yeah. Have you seen Summoning Salt? Those videos? No? Oh,
What's
my
that?
God. So Summoning Salt's this YouTuber, and he does like history of speedruns.
Oh,
So he'll break down
Damn.
the history of the speedrun, and it's actually like scholarly work if you think about it, because to understand a speedrun properly and how the speedrun has evolved, you'd have to know each different exploit that comes in over time and all these different people who came in to break the record. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much that goes into each individual speedrun and how they get to where they are now.
Yeah.
Like, how do you shave this game down from 40 minutes to 27 minutes? Well, here we're gonna find out, and it's a really, really interesting series because he's so good at breaking down each different one. I'm surprised you never heard of it if you're into speedruns, because it's very popular amongst the speedrunning community.
understood.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of AGDQ. And
And that's speedruns done live.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that's a really cool idea. Even kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier about like doing a podcast live and stuff like that. Speedrunning was always like a online type of streaming it, upload it type of thing. But I think AGDQ was a really cool thing because it finally took like the thing that you just kind of do at home that didn't really make sense to do live. And it's like, oh, let's showcase these people and have them explain the game to the audience and to the stream in real time while doing it. And I think that's a really, really cool concept. And then it's always like a fundraiser too. And I think that was one of like, I thought it was a really cool, innovative live gaming type of event that was like one of one. That, I mean, that was just like a really monumental, innovative thing.
what is it? Games done quick? Games something quick? Is that what it is?
AGDQ is awesome games done quick.
Awesome games
and then
done
GDQ
quick.
is just games done quick. I think it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the awesome is for. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
It's cool too because a lot of those people wouldn't necessarily even have like a platform at all. Like
Yeah.
they just play video games.
Yeah.
Like the speedrunning community is like it's kind of just a small group of guys who just like playing video games.
Yeah.
Every single time. And it's cool to see again like how these records get made because it's such dedication that it takes,
Oh, yeah.
And it's people like, like you said, they are already 40 on the leaderboard, but they know there's so much time they can shave off, and they
Yeah.
know there's all these mistakes they made. See, for me, I've thought about it, but I don't know. I just don't know if I like the idea of having to play a game so precisely. I feel like I get pissed off when I have to do the same thing 10 times in a row.
it's kind of fun, though.
I would get mad. I'd be like, how can I not do this? I'm pushing the buttons. I would just get tired of it.
Yeah.
I would be one of the cheaters who splices together my speed run and calls it 40 minutes when it wasn't.
Right. It's like, who's going to prove me wrong? Like,
Everyone.
Yeah.
They always get caught.
every time.
Yeah.
But like that, the reason I even got into speedrunning, not only just because I love the precision of it, right? But I remember one day, like, around the Wii DS era that I like bought a game and played it all the way through and beat it, and I loved it so much.
You don't remember the game, though?
It was Pokemon White.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I remember loving that game so much and being like, damn, I really enjoyed that. There's no replay value in this for me because, like, one, I already know what happens in the game and the story and stuff like that, and like, two, I've like leveled up all my Pokemon. There's nothing left for me to do with those Pokemon in particular.
And there's not like post-game content or anything like that?
Nah, because there's only so much, and then also this is like before like online DLC and all that shit, and like in the game, like the highest level like opponent that you can get that fight on a regular basis like is only like a level 65 or level 68-ish type Pokemon. So when you're level 100, you're just clearing that shit for no reason. And I loved my team, and there was like a few other RPGs that I got that I really enjoyed and beat, and I was like, damn, like I have no reason to pick this back up. And at some point I felt like I was wasting money because I was like, I love these games and they're so exciting and exhilarating, but once I beat them, it's not exciting to replay them because I know the story, and the excitement of it all, of exploring through this whole world, is like just kind of dead. So I was like, what am I supposed to do now? And then I actually got into playing competitive Smash Bros. And like that created, like, that was the first time that I had a reason to keep playing the same game over and over and over again without it getting stale, because I was going to tournaments. So I was like actively trying to get better at the game on a regular basis. And I was like, finally, I have a game that I can play often that stays fresh all the time, because there's always something new to do, which is beat new people.
Yeah.
Right. And then travel for it and shit like that too. So then when I got into speedrunning, I had my favorite games ever, like Heroes and Riders, that I loved playing. But like, I know I played Sonic Heroes a million times over. But then finally, like, I had a reason to keep on playing Sonic Heroes without it getting boring, because I was trying to perfect my speedrun of it. And that is like the reason why I got into competitive gaming and speedrunning, because it gave me a reason to play my same games over and over and over again. And so I actually only have like a Wii and a DS at home, and I don't really have, I've never bought a newer game and newer console outside of like the newer Smash Bros games, just because I wanted to play those in tournaments too. But like, I'd like get a console and get that, and like that's it.
You never thought about like just trying another console, another type of game?
I don't have time.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
probably a good way to
like,
look at it.
Yeah, because I was getting so busy with like school and music and stuff like that, and relationships and shit like that, that I was like, I only have so much time in a day to play video games anyway. So I just kind of get the satisfaction of like moving my hands in a gaming way, like.
Yeah, because I mean, like, as long as you know what you like if you have the games that you like, what's the point in even wasting my time on trying anything else?
Because I can like turn it on for 30 minutes after class or after work, and like have my like absolute most amount of fun for that 30 minutes, and then turn it off and like go to sleep.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it would satisfy my craving of gaming without me having to spend a shit ton of money and stuff like that. And
I just obsess with games. That's my problem, is I'll have a game I love for X amount of weeks, and then it just disappears. Because I just obsess with it for a little bit, and then I'm like, no, I have to stop this.
What's your most recent gaming obsession?
Right now it's Ratchet and Clank.
Fuck yeah!
I really want to play it right. As I talk to you right now, I'm like, as soon as he leaves, I'm going to play Ratchet and Clank.
Dude, what a great fucking series.
The second one is the one I'm on right now. And it's actually, I played 2 and 3 growing up. So it's really cool, because it's like one of these games I never finished. And I just played, like, I remember playing, but I don't think I ever finished it.
Yep.
So it's just one of those games that I just had in my collection. I think actually a friend had it, and I just play it with him, because I don't remember. I would have finished it if I owned it. So like, I just am confused. Right? Like, why do I not remember so much of this, and why do I remember so much of this? Like, it's like so much of it's familiar, but also so much of it's so like, no, I didn't do this. And those games are classics. Like, it's cool how the PS2 has those 3 things. It has Jak and Daxter, it has Ratchet and Clank, and it has Sly Cooper. And I did play Kingdom Hearts growing up. Kingdom Hearts is my shit.
Banger.
It's my favorite. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite game of all time. Absolutely 100%, hands down, my favorite game of all time.
No, dude.
Bully's my second favorite game of all time from Rockstar.
Yeah.
But that Kingdom Hearts 2 is just so good. And that game, I could just hop back into and obsess over at any time. I got to be careful touching Kingdom Hearts or any of those games, because I will play them over and over and over. I love those games because they're the best. But yeah, with Ratchet and Clank, I'm just like, oh, dude, it's the more and more I play it, the more and more I go, oh, this is awesome. Like, this isn't just good. This is really good. Because it's like, that's when games had a really high standard. Like in the PS2 era, when they were trying to like pave the way for what these platformer games could be, there was such a high standard for them at that point in time. Like, that's what made Insomniac what they are, is Ratchet and Clank. Like, nowadays, they're like, they're known for these story games, and they're okay. But Ratchet and Clank was their magnum opus.
Ultra mega classic.
It's arguably the best PS2 or the best PlayStation franchise. Arguably the very best one. I mean, what tops Ratchet and Clank when it comes to even just marketability and like general playability and consistency and over every single game? Like, most of them are done okay. There's been a couple that weren't the best, but there hasn't been a whole bunch of stinkers throughout the franchise.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would just point at that and say that's probably the best PlayStation franchise they've got. Yeah. Like, they could release a new Ratchet and Clank tomorrow and it would sell like hotcake. It just would. And I think the whole concept is genius, because it's just a platformer with insane weapons and upgrade everything. You can upgrade everything. The weapons are insane, and we're always trying to be creative and come up with something new, some wacky new draw for you to want to play this game over every other Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah.
And the first 3 did it so well.
which is not like common
No.
at all.
Normally, the sequel just does the same thing as the last one with a couple more bells and whistles. Whereas these games tried to take everything that worked and then multiply that by 10 each time.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they did. And like for me, I'm one of those people where I just like the feeling of progression in a game more than anything. And that's what makes it so addictive playing this game is that it always feels like you're progressing and you can upgrade this thing. And, oh, I want to get I have to get fucking this many. What are they not? What's the currency? It's not quarks. Is it quarks? I think it's quarks.
I think it might be.
Yeah, because they're little screws, but I think they're called quarks in the game. Then I need more quarks so that way I can upgrade this gun. And then Ratchet and Clank 2, every gun upgrades once, and it's all based on how you use it. Ratchet and Clank 3, every gun upgrades like 4 or 5 times, which I'm so excited for. The little nerd in me just hears that, and I go, oh my God. Because I don't think I ever beat either of these. I think I'm going to play this third night. It'll be just like when I'm playing the second one. I'll be like, dude, I remember being 10 and seeing this. It's such a weird feeling playing the games you played when you were little and you only played them that one time. That's how I'm going to feel if I ever go back and play the Tony Hawk games too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God. Like, okay, me and the owner of that store that I work at, like, one of the first times that we ever really like hung out, he has a Nintendo 64 and a big ass like CRT television in the back of the store. And I remember we turned on Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and like one of the first few times that we like were hanging out and starting to get to know each other, we were just like grinding the hell out of the campaign in that game.
Yeah.
And like just it was pissing us off so bad because the controller itself is like broken and shitty as fuck. But like, dude, we were just living for that shit.
that game's awesome.
It is.
It holds up to this day.
It does.
Yeah.
And like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 is just like one of the best programmed games of all time, mechanic wise.
Yep.
And like even for Ratchet and Clank, like one of the things that really excites me about Ratchet and Clank and its success was like seeing the representation in like the PlayStation All-Stars game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game was underrated for what it was. It was like their attempt at a battle royale, not battle royale, but a Smash-esque game.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like Smash, but PlayStation, which I think would do better now than it even did then. And like Justice League tried to do the same thing, and they didn't do, or not Justice League, it was DC.
Yeah,
they tried to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I really wonder how you do it, because I think the whole IP crossover thing for fighting games is such a fun idea.
Yeah.
Like Smash, when I was growing up, I think it's kind of why I loved Kingdom Hearts. It was part of it. It's like Smash and Kingdom Hearts, just the idea of like Scary Movie. I thought of the same way.
Yeah.
The idea of taking all these different IPs and meshing them into one big thing.
Yep.
For some reason, I just love that idea. And Avengers mastered it. Avengers showed everybody it was possible.
Yeah.
And they kind of paved the way for everything else. But I'm amazed that there's not more of this with like fighting games and crossover, because that's such a fun idea. Let's take all these different IPs we own. Let's put them all in one big fighting game. And we could top all. They tried another one that failed. They tried the crossover was DC Comics versus Mortal Kombat. If you ever played that, it was Mortal Kombat versus, it was MK versus DC or something it was called.
Nah.
And it was cool because you're like the Joker versus Raiden. Like just you'd have Mortal Kombat characters versus Batman. So it's a fun idea, but it's just every single time it's not quite there.
That's because Marvel versus Capcom did it best. And you've got like,
I forgot about that
you've got
one.
like Spider-Man fighting Mega Man. Like that shit is fucking sick.
That is so sick.
Yeah, like they like Marvel versus Capcom. They just did it time and time and time and time again. They just never really missed with those ever.
You know, another thing I loved is the Mugen thing on the computer, if you've ever heard of that. You know what Mugen is? Mm-mm. So it's kind of like it would just take the sprites from games like Marvel versus Capcom and all these things. It would take the different sprites from the games and it would put them in basically anybody could make their own characters. You could mod the game however you want. It was a PC game.
Yeah. And
anybody can download it to this day and you just mod the game and you can put in any characters. You can make your own. It would just take sprites from other things.
Yeah.
But it was just it was based on this type of game, like the classic 2D fighting style, like a Street Fighter of like a Marvel versus Capcom, like a Street. What else is there? Tekken.
Yeah.
All these classic. Just one guy, another guy. You got like maybe like a 2v2 fighting style, and that's it. You never have more than 2 guys on each team. Maybe you have 3v3. Did Marvel vs. Capcom ever do that? I think you'd have 3 people in a group.
They did. So. I know Capcom versus SNK did that a whole bunch. I believe that Marvel vs. Capcom had like the 3-on-3 because you would have like your like assist button where like one of your other people in your party could like come in, swoop in for one hit, and that'll like extend your combo.
Yeah.
So I believe that existed in Marvel vs. Capcom. It was like a really big part of the meta.
I was never able to get into fighting games just because I don't like the idea of memorizing different characters. Like, just that seems like so much brain power I have to use to know what each guy does with each combo
and how to fight against it.
Yes.
Yeah, like, yeah, especially with like the newest Smash game that has like 80 something characters.
I want to get into it so
Fuck
bad.
That.
It reminds me of how Overwatch has become, where like Overwatch at first was kind of fun, and now Overwatch is like you have to know the meta constantly. You have to know who's OP right now and what the last update did, and you got to know just how people are running their teams right. You have to know everything about everything to enjoy the game. You can't just hop in and play.
Yeah.
You have to know what the current what everything is right now. Same thing with Call of Duty. It's always like what weapons did they recently nerf? And all you have to do is pay attention. Like what gun is everybody using? And it's just kind of not that fun.
No, it's
the game should just be the game, but instead it's constantly like you have to keep up with whatever the last thing was.
It kills the competitive spirit too, especially
yeah.
when they can like drop like top 5 characters out of nowhere that change everything.
Yeah. Do they do that with fighting competitions and stuff? Oh, they do. Huh?
Yeah, like they'll buff some characters and that character jumps up like the tier list and stuff like that like crazy. Yep. They'll add new third-party characters to the game that just break the fucking game because they have a deal with the company and they're like, well, you're not gonna put our character in your game and make them ass because they need to be good so they can be on screen at all the major tournaments and shit like that, right? Because that's more revenue. It's all a business ploy. And so when they take your character that you already learned and make your character worse,
I never even thought about it that way.
Oh yeah.
Because there would be a financial incentive to break the character.
Yes, every time.
Yeah.
Every time, especially if it's like from a big series, like, and they know that like people play it competitively on these huge stages and it gets streamed and watched and all that stuff. Like, you want your character to be on the main stage in the top 8 big Sunday finale, right? Like, so you're gonna pay that company extra money to make your character extra good.
Yeah.
Because it's beneficial to both of y'all, and then obviously everybody who wants to win the tournaments has to buy that character, right? Because that's the best character in the game now. Like, that shit kills.
Yeah.
Especially like when they take your character that you already play and make them worse, and then you got to deal with that shit. Like, that's part of the reason why I stopped playing newer games, because it's
a constant
too many
thing
changes
now. And they didn't used to do that. It used to just be the game,
and it was done, and you would just learn it, and then it would evolve over time as people learn how to exploit it. But like, this new stuff is killer. And to even rope us all the way back into music again, that's like the reason I initially quit violin. Because I had like the best instructor on the planet for my 6th grade and 7th grade year. And I was really like dedicated, like overly dedicated to violin. I was first chair, like the very first semester, our like winter concert, 6th grade, I was second chair, and I was like, unacceptable. Absolutely not. Because like, I don't know about you, but I hate like being right beneath like whoever's the best, because it's like, I'm like, I'd rather get like 3rd or 4th in a competition than 2nd, because that's like you just barely didn't have what it took to like be number 1, which feels even more bitter.
Ricky Bobby's dad said, right? If you ain't first, you're last.
I agree. I agree. And being 2nd is just even more like almost insulting in a way, not literally, but that's kind of how I can feel. So I was like 2nd chair for that, and I was like, okay, all I have to do is grind hard and I can just jump up 1 chair. There's no excuse. So I did that, and I got like the award for like most improved, and then the year after I got most dedicated, because I was like 2nd chair for the first concert, then first chair going forward. Then we had a big school zone change where they like redrew the lines of all of our school districts, and we lost our instructor because he couldn't teach in 2 different districts. So they gave us somebody else. Were you ever in like band or choir or anything like that in school?
Yeah. Okay,
so you know that the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade bands all play different music because they're all at different levels.
Yeah.
This instructor that I had the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade orchestras all play together. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but the thing that kind of killed my passion for practicing violin on a regular basis was because he would give us some sheet music, and it was full of hard, dope shit. which I get excited about. So I would spend hours on hours on hours like drilling the songs and the runs and the licks and all of that stuff. And then we'd go into class like a week or two later, and he'd be like, hey guys, this is actually too hard for the 6th and 7th graders, so here's new sheet music. And he would change the sheet music, and he would like change the key to something that was easier with like less accidentals. Or he would like, if we had a section with like 16th notes that I like drilled and like finally like got my 16th notes clean, he would change them to 8th notes. And I'm like, all right. And then I would learn that. And then he would change it again and be like, they're still having trouble, so I'm going to simplify it even more. And I was a first violinist at that, so we're taking the main melody. Our part is supposed to be the most stimulating part out of everybody in the entire orchestra, right? Because we're basically like the sopranos of the orchestra. And like we would go from having like a super sick like 16th note lick that was just super difficult but awesome to it being like the same note like in 8th notes over and over and over again. And I was like, I'm not going to keep practicing my instrument if you're just going to keep changing the music, because it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And I ended up quitting violin going into 9th grade because I was like, this was a waste of like a whole waste of a year. I didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
He just like killed my passion for it. And then in 10th grade, I was like, well, let me pick up violin again. I went to orchestra, and my orchestra instructor was a tuba player. And he was like the assistant band
tuba tutor.
Yes, a tubular tuba tutor.
There we go.
But he was a tuba instructor, and he was the assistant band director who was going for the like head band director's position when he was like about to retire, which was soon. So he was basically just like his understudy, like absolute killer band director. He's amazing at what he does. Crazy tuba player too. He has a PhD. He's great. We actually graduated at the same time.
Nice.
I graduated. He was my high school instructor. I graduated college on the same day that he was graduating college with his PhD, and we walked on the same day. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I love him to death. He's amazing. But he wasn't an orchestra instructor, and the school didn't want to pay and hire an orchestra instructor, so they just had him teach it, because they were lazy. And then like there were things that I wanted to learn to take my violin playing to the next level that he just didn't know how to teach me. Like he didn't really know how to properly teach me how to do vibrato. You know what I mean? He didn't know how to properly teach me how to do all these advanced techniques. And again, I was like, okay, I'm done with violin because these instructors don't know how to harness my like burning desire to like perfect this instrument. So I let it go, and I fully leaned into all the visual media classes that I was taking, like graphic media, graphic design, art 1, drawing 1, film, advanced film, all that stuff. And I really like deterred completely away from music by the time I reached like 11th grade. But then somewhere in my second semester of 11th grade was when we had that competition that I did the rap in Nashville. And then I ended up like realizing that I wanted to be a vocalist instead of a violinist. And then I did choir in my senior year, and then went to college for music, which shocked my whole family because they were like ready for me to go to college as a graphic designer.
Yeah.
And then in college, I learned a lot about music. I took more years of choir in college. And then after a long time of learning to be a vocalist, I picked my instrument back up to put back into my rap shows.
Yeah, and it all comes back together.
Exactly.
It weaves back into one. Yeah. Because I feel like, it's I think as we were saying that, I was thinking about like, you know, it's the value of a good teacher, right? Like
Correct.
If you have a bad teacher, it can steer you the wrong way for years, and it could just ruin your whole life even. You could just completely miss what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Whereas all you really need is one good tuba tutor, you know, one good mentor to come along and show you the right way. Because I think people are very malleable. They're very moldable.
Yeah.
We don't realize how plastic we are.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, it's a good exercise for anybody to think like, you know, how much of who I am now really is a product of all these random things that I've been through. Because if you really break it down, like, why do I pick any random thing you do and think, why do I do that? Yeah. And the answer usually is that you learned it somewhere along the way, you know? And often it's mentors, it's people you look up to. It's like people you think know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
that you trust.
And a great teacher can be that, you know?
Yeah.
The best teachers are the ones who make you believe in a topic. Like they make you believe that it matters.
Right.
And that guy did the opposite. He
Yeah.
made you think music doesn't really matter, I guess. I guess this isn't my thing.
No.
Because
which is crazy that we're sitting right now and having a conversation about it.
But you delayed your journey for sure, though.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, obviously, we all have our paths, and all of it feeds back into everything, and it all works out. But if you had a different person tell you, yeah, man, do that, be you, do that hard shit, play that 16, those 16s. We're not dumbing it down to 8. Matter of fact, let's go to 32.
Right.
Like, you just makes it harder. You know, it's like you need people to push you the right way, and you need people to make you believe in yourself and enhance your individualism and make you feel special in that way. And a great teacher will do that. They'll make everybody feel interested. It's like the you're more interesting if you're interested thing. Like, I remember I had a teacher named Mr. Fuller growing up, and he was awesome because he just made history interesting. He's a history teacher, and it was just fun to hear him talk about history because he liked the topic and he really liked talking about it. Yeah. And it was simply like, it was that simple. He just enjoyed the topic and he believed in it. And I think a bad teacher can ruin a topic. You can think you don't like math because you had a bad math teacher who just was kind of a jerk. You could think you hate that whole thing when really you might actually like math. You just got the wrong impression. Right. And I think that goes for any topic you can think of, right? It's with school. School will ruin a lot of people on a lot of things because there's bad teachers. And I think teaching is a tough job. You get jaded. You end up in a place you didn't want to be. You didn't want to be a math teacher in high school. You thought it was going to go different. Right. What am I doing here? I'm not even that smart. That's probably what a lot of those guys are thinking. I'm not a man. I never thought I was going to be a math teacher. But it's just, in taking advantage of every moment you're in. And I think teaching is, again, like we're talking about being on stage is a blessing. Teaching is a blessing in the same way.
You're kind of on stage, you're performing.
Yeah, you're performing, and you can again, lift these people up. Yes. And bring them to a higher state of consciousness through how you approach this topic. Yeah. Like, they might not care, but it's up to you to make them want to care. Exactly. And if you care, they will care. And if they don't care while you care, they probably were never going to care in the first place. Exactly. You can't, it's like kind of like you can't fix somebody who doesn't want to be fixed. You just can't. Nah. Not even, no matter how hard you try. And it's actually kind of like, it's a tough thing. It's like a toxic relationship. It's like a broken. You just want to fix them. You just want to say please. You just want to shake them and say please. And what you got to do is you got to be honest. You got to fix yourself, boys and girls. All you can ever do in life is fix yourself. You can give people great advice. You can tell people the best things, but you can't fix them. No. You can hope that they do it, but you can't do it yourself. Yeah. I see people go insane trying to fix other people. My mom is a fixer at heart. She wants to help everybody and fix everybody. I go, Mom, you got to take it easy on that sometimes. Sometimes it's okay. Yeah. There's some lessons that people just have to learn the hard way. Yep. And
I think that even kind of goes back to when we were talking about like planting seeds and the roots and all that stuff. Yeah. Because I think when we're talking about making a lasting impression on somebody, I think understanding that change may not come immediately, or they may not react to what you're saying or act on what you're saying in the moment is like one thing. But like, as long as you just understand, like, okay, I'm going to tell you what I think you need to hear right now, and it's going to resonate somewhere in your lifetime. And one day you're going to look back on this moment and remember the thing that I said, and it's going to affect you, and it's going to make you wake up when you wake up. Yeah. Right. And I can't tell you how many times that I think back to certain moments with some of my instructors that I'm like, dang, he said that and he was right. Yeah. And then I changed my ways in the current day years later about something somebody told me way in the past.
And you were stubborn back then. Huh? Back then you were stubborn. You're like, no, he's not.
Yeah, like, depending on what it was.
Maybe you agreed with him in the moment, but you're thinking, no, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like
because over time you really realize how right they were. That's what I mean. Like you're in your youthfulness, we like to think we're right, and then you realize how right your mentors were over time. You're like, oh, they all knew what they were saying. I was the fool.
Yeah. Like, and sometimes it's just about prioritizing. Like, maybe the thing that they wanted me to prioritize at the time was not important to me in that moment. Yeah. But then I look back later and I'm like, dang, I really could have capitalized on some shit back then and I didn't. Yeah. And like, whenever somebody asks me like, oh, do you regret anything in your life? I'm like, nah, like, I don't regret shit. But one thing, there's one singular thing in my life that I like wish I did differently. And do I feel like an immense amount of regret for it? No. Is it something I internalized? No. But if there was anything in my entire lifetime that I could mark a moment of regret, it would be this. Because in my senior year of high school, I was taking advanced film, and like I had already had that instructor, that film teacher, like for film 2 the year prior or a couple years prior. and like he loved me. I was like his like star pupil film student. Like we had to do, the town had their own like local TV station that the school kind of like bought. So they had like their own station you could just tune into, and they could put whatever they wanted. So in advanced film, our job, we had 4 different groups, and we had to make 30-minute episodes of like a TV show, basically like once a month, and everybody had something different. So my specific group, we were called Arts in Arlington, and we were supposed to make a 30-minute episode of a show about art in the city and the school once a month, which should have been very easy. I mean, we were the best group in the entire class at the time, because we were the only people that ever really met our time requirement. Everybody else was like just on absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
But, you know, we would interview people, and like my instructor would sit in on our interviews, and he would actually sit with our group more than any other group, because he was like, y'all, you guys really have something special. I want to sit down with y'all. And his name was Mr. Hudson. And he's like, y'all have really something special, and I want to sit down with y'all. And, you know, like, he was always giving us advice and pointers and advice, because he was like, you rap. My best friend at the time who was in the group also rapped. He was like, you have 2 very talented rappers. You have thousands of dollars of expensive ass camera equipment. Why don't y'all make some music videos and put them in y'all's episodes? And this. Like, he was really like giving us great advice, and like telling us like, you guys have everything you need to make some really fire episodes and have some extra stuff to carry out with you afterwards, because you have all this access to this equipment. I really want y'all to lock in. And we were like, okay, bet. And like, I was, you know, usually like the interviewer of our group, because, you know, if they needed somebody to talk and we had like a guest come in, and I would interview them. But I was such a good interviewer at the time that the teacher would actually ask me to do the interviews for the other groups, because the other people just didn't know how to interview people. And he always had me sitting in on other people's projects. And he really, really believed in me and my work ethic and what I was willing to do and what he knew I was capable of doing and all that stuff. And I always feel like when somebody's being hard on you, it's because they know what you can pull off. And if they felt like you were a lost cause, and they wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
So I was really locked in for that first semester. Like the first 2 quarters of senior year, I was really locked in on that. But then I started to really, really get into making music. And then I was also, as I was getting out of college, I, you know, had a car. I started working a job. Getting out of high school, I got a car for the first time, and I was starting to work a job, and I got really fixated on rapping and making money, right? And so like I started like selling snacks in school for like an extra buck, and like would have like all my snacks in like my car. And it was my friend's idea. He was like, dude, we should make a bunch of money. Like, why don't we like bring a bunch of chips and fucking Gatorades and shit, and like we'll sell it in the hallway between classes and stuff like that. And like that kind of became something that we were doing together. And then he was like a type of dude that gets high on his own supply and didn't have any discipline. So we were
a bunch
both
of chips, drinking a bunch of Gatorade.
Swear to God. So it was so funny, because it was his idea. I joined in on it. He ended up buying from me for the rest of the school year. Yeah. So he would get his own, eat it all, and then come to me and buy mine. But I got so focused on like getting my money up, especially I was about to go to college, and I was like, I need money for college. This. And I wanted to like have money for like some music related stuff, buy a microphone, buy a laptop, all that. And that last semester, and like I had film for my 3rd period, and we had like 7 periods. And Monday, Wednesday, we would do like 1st period, 3rd, 4th, and 6th. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we would do 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 5th, and 7th. So 7 days, the 5 days out of the week, we only had one class that we repeated every day. For me, that was film.
Okay.
So that became like the spot where like everybody, all the fucking slackers in the other group in the film class, they would like love buying snacks from me. And like that was like the second class of the day. So everybody that was like watching my stories on Snapchat and shit like that would see what I had. And I ended up getting late to class every single day, because I'd be running around the hallway trying to make my sales and then rush over to film class. Whereas I used to be the first person in the room in the first semester of college. Yeah. So he started getting really, really mad at me, because like he'd be like, where have you been this whole time? And like at first I had like some bullshit excuses, but then he saw me selling like snacks in class, and he realized like, okay, I see what's going on here. You're just not locked in on this class, and you're not respecting this class either. So he ended up like we ended up just kind of like butting heads a whole bunch for that last semester, and then I graduated. But like on my way out of the door, Like, because he basically gave me an unexcused absence one day for my tardiness, which I don't think was fair, but I was late so many times that he was just like, I'm not giving you any more. Like I was just tardy, but he gave me an unexcused absence, which like forced me to take his final. Every other class that I had, because I had a 99 in his class, I had almost a perfect score. And in every other class, I was exempt from every final exam I had to take, except for him. He made me fucking take that final. And I was supposed to write a 1-page paper about something, and I wrote like half a page because I genuinely ran out of shit to say. Like, I did not have anything left to say. I made all my points in less words. And so I turned it in, and he was like, that's it? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you have nothing left to say. You're not going to finish the paper. And I was like, Mr. Hudson, I genuinely have nothing left to say on this paper. And I would just be like bullshitting for word count. And he was like, I'm sure you can come up with some more. And then I just got mad. And I was like, look, I turned it in. You can fail me if you want to. And I left. And looking back on that, we really had like the cameras we had were fucking huge. And we had Final Cut Pro. And we had like a lunch period study hall every single third period too that we could use for our own independent time. So I had class time and I had free time in a film studio where I could have done whatever the fuck I wanted. And like looking back on it, I'm like, dude, I could have had so many music videos out back then that were of insane quality because I had Final Cut Pro on a computer, free time, and all this camera equipment. And I could have had a really strong connection with that film teacher where maybe even after graduating, if I asked him, hey, can I borrow a camera for a video shoot? He probably would have said yes.
Yeah.
But I burned that bridge. And like,
because you didn't want to write 3 more paragraphs.
Yeah, but also like my priorities were just in a different place and whatever. But like when I look back on some of those moments and I remember how hard he was being on us and like how much he would fucking get on my ass and criticize me and just like single me out and call me out in front of the class, I fucking hated that shit. But I realized later it's just because he wanted me to like take my own self seriously.
Yeah.
Right. And like that's one of those things where it's like a planting seed moment where I look back on that and I'm like, shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I absolutely could have maximized that more. And that's like my only one singular regret in my entire life is mishandling that class and that teacher, especially with the amount of like faith that he had in me, that he put me in a lot of positions for a lot of other stuff. And I feel like I could have done a lot more with that, but that's like the only time.
Well, it's interesting how at the time you thought he wasn't the best teacher, and it turns out he was. He was a great teacher all along.
No, I always knew he was the best teacher. I thought he was just being an asshole.
Exactly, though. That's what I mean. Like you're thinking, what's this guy's problem?
Yeah.
And really, he's doing the exact thing he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You just don't even realize at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was on some rap shit. I was like, man, I'm getting money, man. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like these little ass snack dollars and shit. But to
and
me,
you know,
it was a lot.
it's a shame because he saw the potential in even the combination of those two. Like he told you to do a music video. He told you all this already.
Told us by
he knew what you had to do, and
Yeah.
you're still thinking like, nah, I got it figured out. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
I don't need this class.
Like on some Miles Morales shit. Like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
I mean, and deep down, I think we all do want that, like, independence. We all want, like, oh, I can do it all myself. But the answer is actually no. The answer is every successful person you've ever thought of, they needed other people to aid them along the way. They need
Correct.
those mentors. They need that team. There's always a group of people that you don't see surrounding that person you love.
Yes.
That help them get to there and that help them stay there all the time. You just don't know these names and you never see them anywhere.
Right.
But they all exist every time. There's no lone person that's famous that's just doing it by themselves. It does not exist.
Which is exactly why when those people start doing bad things, they don't even say, oh, he like, what is he doing? They say like, dude, where's your team?
Yes.
To keep you in check,
Yeah.
right? Where's your PR team? Where's your team to let you know like, hey, that's not a good decision to like tighten up.
Yeah.
And that like is like absolutely like attesting to your point because whenever
That's what friends are for.
Exactly. Whenever a big artist or big public figure starts to like wild out, the first thing people think of is like, where's your support circle to make sure that you don't do shit like this?
Yeah,
they don't even immediately blame that person.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
How the accountability like almost falls on the people who, you know, you're supposed to rely on. Yeah. But it's special too though.
And then yesterday I had, like you saw on my story, it was Tracy. Yeah. It was Tracy, the saxophonist. And then also my friend Drew, who I mentioned earlier with his podcast, how we're trying to assemble a legion of podcasters. Because he was the one who presented that idea to me. And I think that's genius. I think what Chicago needs is more communal based stuff. And for podcasting specifically, where's the Chicago podcast group?
Yeah.
Where's the hub? Where's like the center of the mecca of Chicago podcasting? Because I think Chicago needs more industry stuff. It needs more of like a feeling of community and group. And like behind you there's a poster for Loose Ends, which is my friend Noah Guardado. He was on the show, and he did like a little film festival. And this is a thing I'm seeing more and more, where filmmakers are doing their own little film festivals where they put a bunch of short films together, and that's the type of thing I'm talking about. More of this, more of bringing people together. So, yeah, to answer your question, those were my guests from earlier. Was that your question? Was that your official question? I told you to hold it for the camera. So, cameras are on, the mics are on. What is your official question for Ruse?
I was going to flip the story that I just said into a question for you. Is, do you have any moments where you feel like you may have dropped the ball on a creative opportunity like I did with film? Like, is there any day where you're like, dang, I really wish I would have handled that differently? I don't want to say, do you have any regrets?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah. Because I don't like the idea of regretting.
I wish I handled that differently in a creative sense. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think I have any feelings like that at all. But I think it's because I just follow my instincts always. Yeah. I really think it's because I just like I think I don't think so. Because I mean, I would think like maybe I have standards I don't hold myself to, but even then that's not really what you're talking about. You're talking about like an instance in time in which I missed a chance that I could have taken, or I screwed something up for myself. You know what? I can think of one. I was dating a girl at the time, and I remember her parents were upset about something, and I had a show that night at the local venue, the Flint Local, and it's like one of the only venues in Flint, really, that you could perform at. It's not like there's a whole lot. So it's like the Flint Local 432, or that's pretty much it. Like, that's the spot. And so I had a show there, and I was like on the lineup, and I remember the girl's parents had found out that what it was it was at a talent show in my school. There was a talent show, and me and my girlfriend at the time were attending, and we snuck off to the side and we're just hanging out in the lobby area near the bathrooms. And her parents found this out, and they thought like, oh my God, what did you guys sneak off and do?
Yeah.
And they came to my parents' house, and they talked to my mom, and they had a whole sit down talk. They asked if I've ever been tested for STDs.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a whole thing.
And y'all were just like chit chatting.
I mean, I did try to convince her to go in the bathroom with me, but
that truth comes out.
She said no.
Yeah.
So we were just chatting. That is the ultimate truth that has never come out before. That is the actual truth. But yeah, so I just remember their parents overreacted. I remember my mom was nice about it. It was I kind of feel for her because she just had to play it cool.
Yeah.
Like, she's really thinking, like, for my mom, this would have been a nothing situation. Like, this is nothing.
Right.
But to them, like, because the reason her parents noticed was because she missed her friend who was at the talent show.
Oh.
So they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you picked this guy over your friend. Like, that was kind of their angle too. Is like, what's wrong
Where's
with
your
you?
loyalty?
You're changing. They were upset with her.
Oh God, the hormones.
And this was the night of my show. So it's like all of this happens, and I'm like, oh, this is too much. Like, and I message them, and I like the guy who runs the local, and I say, I have family stuff going on. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it tonight. And I do regret that. I actually do regret that, because that was a lame move on my part, and I don't think I've ever done anything like that since. Mm-hmm. That's like something that's uncharacteristic of me. And I think it's because I was blinded by the lights. I think it's because I had a girl I really liked, and that's what was going on in my life at the time. I'm pretty sure that's because nowadays I would never do something like that. And I was just in a honeymoon phase with this girl, and I have all this going on in my head. Nowadays, I have a showman mentality. I'm thinking, I should be taking this on stage. What am I thinking? This is good energy. Yeah. This is good fuel. I should write a song. I should like, this is good life experience right now.
Yeah.
So I know how to channel that stuff. Yeah. And Yeah, so that's a good one. I guess that'd be my answer to your question, because that's a real time where I've done something where it's like I did miss an opportunity, and it was lame. But like for the most part, I think I've tried to seize almost every opportunity that comes my way.
Yeah.
Or I try to create opportunities as much as I can, just because I feel like people stop themselves before they even start. Like they don't even realize like you have to do so much just to even get partially to where you think you want to be. There is so much that needs to be done. Yep. And when you think you're done, you're not even like 5% done ever.
Nah.
So to me, it's like if you're just getting started with that idea, you're nowhere near where you think you need to be. And yeah, it's just constantly chasing opportunities and constantly making sure that you don't, like, obviously some things you don't take, but like, because like with podcasts, for example, if someone were talking about an interview, I would want to see like, okay, they've done at least like 10 of these. That's kind of my rule. I have to see at least they've done 10, because I don't want to show up and waste my time and do this interview that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
But if I know it's going to exist, then yeah, of course, because that's an opportunity. It's like anything that could lead anywhere, you should follow. Generally, if you're an entertainer, I think, because you don't know where these things go. And I think people try too hard to worry about their image and try to curate things too much. And it's like, nowadays, if you're not already established, the whole game is getting people to even know who you are. Like if you haven't already been established, you're just fighting uphill. Because I think like with podcasts, with these interview shows, I think more often than not, it's people who they've already made it. They've already got into these places, and they're already well known on the internet. That's why you're watching their show.
Right.
Everything else is like 3 seconds and 5 seconds of people's attention and just catching them for a second, trying to get them to listen.
Yeah.
That's everything else. And so like that's the world we're in. And in that, there's everything's an opportunity. Like even every single post is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like that's why you should post more, because you don't know what little snippet of your song is what people are going to hear the first time. That'll be that rabbit hole into everything else that you've ever made. You don't know which one it is.
Exactly.
You like even songs that you think, oh, I've posted this 100 times. Everybody's heard this. No one's heard it. No one's heard it. Just post it again.
Yeah.
You know, but I just feel like people have all these ideas. Like they have to curate it and make it perfect. It's like, no.
Just
first
be
of
raw.
all, no.
Yeah.
just put it out there. And so, and again, like everything's an opportunity if you think about it that way, right?
Yeah.
I just like, and I feel like it's chasing opportunities that has always been the thing that I think leads to blessings.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm here right now. It's because I chased this and this and this, which led to this and this and this. And
yeah.
You know,
that consistency too.
The consistency.
It always pays off, because even the people I know that like kind of are maybe like frustrated, like, oh, I don't have that many monthly listeners, or I can't sell that many tickets. It's like, it's not that you're not making good music. It's just that not the people who need to know that you exist just don't know that you exist yet. And
Exactly.
they don't know that their favorite artist is dropping their favorite song and they just haven't heard it. That's literally it.
And the song could be a song that you've already dropped. That
My point.
You think
Yeah.
isn't like getting the attention. Exactly. It's the one you already have that you already think is not getting attention. That could be the one. They just don't know it exists.
That's it.
They just don't.
That's
They
it.
literally don't even know.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like I'll have songs in my catalog where I'm thinking like, oh my god, like I'm gonna do this one again, and then I'll do it, and I'll have somebody like dap me up, and be like, bro, oh my god, I fucking love that one. Like, I'm thinking, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
It just reminds me like this is brand new to them.
Yeah.
To them, this is a whole new thing. I'm thinking I've done this 100 fucking times. To them, it's like this is their chance to witness that song they like.
Right.
They've heard this before. Like, especially if they really like it, you know, if it's like one of those ones that really does stick out to this particular, they're excited, you know, and it's like, yeah, you just get so familiar with your own material.
Exactly, right?
You think it's just boring, and it's not boring to anybody else but you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's, I also just think I have this idea about like it's a good way to visualize like a funnel, right?
Right.
And I think of everything's like an entry point into this funnel of what you do, and ideally you have people fall into the bottom eventually, and it's that tiny little percentage of people at the bottom of the funnel that are going to matter the most in the end.
Yeah.
They're going to buy everything you do. They're going to go to every show. They'll love you the most. But really, it's just these little percentage of people. And it's just about creating more and more stuff at the top of the funnel that's going to drop people in. And you don't even know who those people at the bottom are going to be. It's just believing in that process that leads to those people at the bottom of the funnel.
Exactly.
And like, I think that's the trick, right? Is just understanding that's going to work out. Like those 80 monthly listeners don't even matter because maybe they're...
That's exactly how many monthly listeners I have. I mostly promote Apple Music, but I have exactly 80 on Spotify.
I was stuck under 100 for a long time. I'm trying to think, is it really 80 for you?
Yeah, as of today, yes. As of this morning, yes.
That's really funny. You looked today? You did look?
Yeah. Because today, I don't ever like post like my Spotify ever. Because I'm always pushing Apple Music links and YouTube links. But finally today, I was like, let me post on my story and be like, yo, go stream my music on Spotify.
And you took a screenshot.
And I took a screenshot and I left the link up with like my song. And I was like, oh, I've got 80 monthly listeners. I never look at that number because I don't even use Spotify for my own self. But I was just like, got it.
That's really funny.
Dude, yeah, it's so funny. I just said that number.
But yeah, so when it comes to like, because I mean, I feel like I was stuck around... I'm trying to think of where I was at for a long time. It was like from 50 to 100 or something like that for a really long time. And then I started to do a bunch more features. And I would do like, because I realized on Spotify, it's almost like collaboration posts on Instagram. You can
do the with instead of the featuring.
Exactly. So it's a release for both of you. And to me, it's like, that's obviously a genius like cheat code if the person wants to do it, because there you go. Now it's both of your song and everybody gets to see it. And that's probably what got me from that 50 to 100 to where I'm at now, where it's like, still, I don't even think it's a lot, but it's 350. But I mean, I'm talking down the number. That's a great number. And actually what's cool about it when I think about it too is 80% of it is, what do you call it? Like consistent listeners, like people who have it in playlists and things like this. 80%. So 80% of 300, that means 60 of those people are just random people who are just scrolling. And then the other 240 are people who specifically have my songs in their playlist. To me, that number's awesome. That number's great. That number means I did more than nothing. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And like, ideally, you just put in more work over time and that number goes up. And that's all you have to do. You know, it's about proving that it's about earning the number, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not, I feel like people have this weird idea that they're just going to get where they need to be and it'll all be over and they won't have to do anything anymore. And it's like, you are always trying to prove yourself in a sense. I think hip hop is all about that. It's all about proving yourself and proving you still got it and that you can still captivate an audience in that way. And you still like have that way with words and the gift of gab. Like it's always that. And so, yeah, I just feel like, dude, yeah, I could go on. We're supposed to wrap.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, like even just kind of going to, and I'll wrap this up quick with like the people not knowing you exist. The day that I started to become a successful musician, especially when it came to selling tickets and my monthly listeners going up, was the day that I realized that instead of trying to make the entire world know that I existed, I was like, if the people in my own city don't know that I rap and make music, then none of that other shit even matters.
Yeah.
So I shifted my entire focus on marketing my music and who I wanted my target audience to just be local. I'm like, if I can pack out a bunch of local venues and if I can dominate my local music scene, the rest's just sure to follow, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, let me start one city at a time.
That's really smart.
Yeah, and so
because
like,
I think that people don't value that enough.
No,
and that stuff translates more than anything else because people see those people reacting to you live, and that is better advertising than anything you could ever imagine.
Right?
They're like, oh, people are really into this.
Right?
Why are they so into this? This must be good.
Yeah, because like the city of Memphis has a population, if I remember correctly, of about 600,000 people.
Yeah,
600,000 monthly listeners is awesome. Right? So I'm like, if there's 600,000 people within like a 25-mile radius of me, I need these 600,000 people to know that I exist and make music. Obviously, I'm not going to get all of them on board, but like that's a big, huge, accessible market that I can tap into. That is where I need to start, right? And I'm like, if I can't do that, than me trying to get millions of people around the world to fuck with my shit doesn't matter if if at least 1,000 of the 600,000 people in my own city don't even like my music.
And social media has messed people up so much because they'll look at this number on their phone and they'll think that's going to reflect ticket sales, and it just doesn't. And even people who produce these shows will book based on these numbers, and sometimes it
doesn't
works,
mean shit.
but it really doesn't mean shit. Like, it doesn't reflect talent, and it also doesn't even reflect who's actually going to come out. Like, you don't know. Like, it could with comedy, it's a really weird thing because people will have these videos that go viral, and they might have like 80,000, they might have 800,000, they might have all these followers. But that doesn't mean if you book them on a show at this big comedy club, people are going to show up to hear their stand-up, because that's not what these videos are a lot of the time. People are following them for a whole different thing. And so it's this odd thing now where you'll see people often try to get followers, but they'll start to do things outside of the ballpark of what the actual thing is that they do, and they'll justify it and they'll make up reasons why it's okay. But it just... I feel like it's like we were talking about this whole time, where these followers that you'll get, like, if you want people to know that you're a rapper, you post rap music, and you can't just keep, like, this really popular thing with comedians. It really is. It gets annoying to me. It bothers me. It's a very popular trend that these comics will do, and I see it on Facebook, and I immediately block people on Facebook when I see that's one of these videos, because I'll think I'm watching something else, and then I'll see it's one of these. If it's my comic friends, I'll just gracefully watch it, but I still get annoyed. But what it is it's like a viral video that already exists. Okay, so let's say there's a video of a monkey and it gets its head shaved, and then the monkey goes, "Whoa!" Just this viral video got millions of views already, and then this guy comes on screen.
The Stitch.
And yeah, it's a Stitch. So it's whoever. They don't have anything to do with the making of this video, just some random comedian or this random person who makes content online, and they go, "Man, that monkey was acting crazy. They shaved its head and then it shaked its hands around," and that's their whole reaction.
That's an extremely popular video format right now.
Yeah, and it's extremely popular. And guess how many views this has? 2.5 million views, and it's
without fail.
Without fail. And the person who posted the video, it's not the people who made it's not like the zoo that owns the monkey that posted the original viral video. It's this guy who just copied the video, and he didn't even add. What bothered me, they're not adding anything, and they're getting all these views and likes, and they think like, oh, this is good for me because I'm getting these followers and it's going to be good for my algorithm. But it's like what we've been talking about this whole time. What kind of followers are those? What are those people following you for? I bet you a lot of the people that like those videos, that follow those videos, they didn't even watch it until the end. They didn't even notice that it was a reaction video.
Right.
And it's like, they didn't even notice they were following you.
Yeah.
This is the type of person that would just follow any random video. And that's what's crazy about it to me, is like, there's no curating, and there's no taste making. There's no any of that when it comes to this. There's no... When people look at my profile, what are they going to see? Like, I want it to show me at my best. There's none of that. It's just like, you're the everything show. Like, I can go to your account and I'll just see everything. And that's not, if you're everything, you're nothing.
Yeah.
And I can't stand this. It actually drives me, because it's a bunch of people doing it. It's a lot of people doing it. And like I said, I'll scroll on Facebook, I'll see a video, I'll be like, oh, that's wild. And then I'll see some person at the end, I'm like, oh, they got me again. They got a block.
But see, that's why you have people who have pages with like really, really high follower counts, but really fucking low engagement.
Exactly.
Because they use these gimmicks and nobody's actually paying attention to any of the other stuff on their page.
Because then you look at them posting their actual thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that brings us all the way back to one of the very first points in this conversation about futuristic.
Yeah.
Using a gimmick for views and then not getting taken seriously in his main thing because he relied on something for like a quick viral moment, although it was creative, like using a gimmick to get the attention and it not panning out to actual like fans and respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on that note,
because it's the same exact pattern where it's like, I think it just all has to line up. And that's why I think like comedians and podcasts, I just have had this theory, like they get to be themselves on podcasts.
Yeah.
They're always kind of riffing and being that character. Whereas musicians and other types of people, there's more mystique. It's easier to have more mystique and be more serious. So when you have them in front of a microphone, it's a little bit different of an experience. Like a comedian just kind of goes with anything ever. That's kind of how they're trained to think.
Yeah.
Whereas any other profession, it's a little bit more rigid. You'll just find in general, like musicians generally, I like to think of it, they think in music.
Yeah.
They're used to like thinking in songs and thinking in idea and like in like moods. So for them to talk for an extended period of time, it's almost kind of hard.
Yeah.
You have to kind of pull it out of them a little more. Whereas a comedian will just come in, they'll just go. They'll just go and go and go and go and go.
Yeah,
and go and
nonstop.
Go. You don't even have to really try.
Nah.
They just go and go and go and go and go and go.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of poke the bear every now and then.
Yeah.
Is there a certain type of beat I should be pulling up here? Or a certain idea I should type in?
Let me think.
I can type in anything.
What am I feeling today? Oh, goddamn. My body is asleep.
Ooh, sleep type beat.
Woo!
I'll put it type sleep type beat.
Where one of my friends, he made a song to a pencil sharpener type beat one time. That shit was so fucking funny.
Trying to find one that looks decent.
I think it was like a school diss track too.
You know what? YouTube search has gotten so much worse. It gave me like 3 sleep type beats and it just gave me random stuff. All right, so I'm going to type in pencil sharpener type beat because that's not a bad idea. Let's see what we got in here. This might be the one. This probably is the one. I'll probably do something.
This sounds like it. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
right? This is probably
Liberty
it,
Mutual. This is the one. I already know.
This is it? Yeah. Yo. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yo, ain't nobody go as hard as me. Every time I'm in it, yeah, you know the flow is sharpening. Yo, I'm giving them a stencil, so when they come in with the colored pencil, they can see what I did, how I did it. How I made it when I'm painting on the image, when I got it right there, how I did it, spitting vapor, spitting smoke, motherfucker, got the pencil to the paper like what? I been blowing on a harp, motherfucker, I said the flow is so sharp.
Yeah.
What? I said I do it all day. Motherfucker, you just look at this page. What? Yo, I'm spitting with the rage. What? I said I'm going so insane, like what? They just notice what I say. I just did it all the time. Yo, the flow is so insane. I got the pencil, motherfucker, pencil sharpener. I got the pencil, motherfucking pencil sharpener. I got the pencil, motherfucking pencil sharpener. I got the pencil, motherfucking pencil sharpener. I got the pencil.
Oh, I just realized that you don't have to pass me the speaker because I can rap it. It's already right there. Damn, I would have picked it up way sooner. Okay. Yeah. I feel like a squid because I'm working on my ink, man. Focus on my pen game. Yeah, you know we insane. Yeah, this is Ruse Radio.
Yeah.
Fuck the rules, yeah, you know we gon' pay me though. Wait, hold on, we gon' keep on talking. Yeah, we just had a yap sesh, and we finna keep on going. Then we gon' have a clap sesh. Pause. Holy shit, that's crazy. I was thinking like applause.
Reel it back, reel it back, I need to put that paper in my crack. What? Pause. What? Pause.
You wanna try a different beat?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I like this. What kind of type beat is this?
This Kendrick Lamar jazz type beat. This is my favorite producer, Stoic. Shout out Stoic.
I have a few Stoic beats on my first album, actually. Crazy enough.
Stoic. I might know those beats. If I hear them, I might recognize them.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive you will. All right, go ahead.
One day. I said one day. Maybe a Monday. Maybe a Sunday. I've been looking out the window and I've been wondering about the endo. I've been wondering about the end zone. I've been wondering where it ends though. I've been wondering what it means now. I've been wondering where the scene reels back, where you see it all, when the smoke leaves the room, when the lights go out. I've been wondering now about a lot of things. I scream and shout, I look out and I think it could be a beautiful day, it could be the night, or it could be a bright sun, or it could be a dark cloud. It could be anything. I just wonder. I just wonder. Dun, 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 dun. And I've been hearing a whole lot of clouds. I've been hearing a lot of thunder. Seeing a lot of lightning. I feel a whole lot of sunder. I feel a whole lot beneath me. I feel a whole lot, believe me. Yeah. And I can feel a whole lot leave me. I feel a whole lot come out. I feel a whole lot. I write down a whole lot. And I think I got a little bit, but I think actually I got a whole lot. And I've been parking now. I got a whole lot. I got Parkinson's. I got a whole jot. I got a whole thing. I wrote down a whole plot. I got a whole ring. You could put it on your phone, brah. Yeah. I've been wondering. I've been wandering. I've been thinking. I've been watering these plants. I got seeds. I got roots underground. I'm painting a image. Do you feel me? I am thunder now. That's Ruse, motherfucker. That motherfucker don't fuck around. Wow.
You spoken word now. You spoken word now.
I cannot freestyle.
Ruse and Esmod in Chi-Town.
Ooh!
Hold it down.
Bow, bow.
Rap battle, hold it down.
Holding it down.
Who got the crown? We're splitting it in half.
Splitting in half.
Do the math.
1, 2.
3, 4.
Yeah, we split it in quarters. Make a few more. Make a few chores. I don't need crowns. I don't need the royalty. I don't need nobody. I don't need loyalty. I don't need nobody. I'm laying y'all down. I don't need nobodies. I put you in the ground. And then I put you on a crown. I put a crown on myself. I split it in 2. Then I give it to you. 1, 2. That's
1,
only 2. But don't add more.
Okay. Check 1, 2. Check the 1, 2s.
Ooh.
Not the 3 foes. And no fofos. I come in peace. I don't need a piece. I got a kitty
And she don't need
right
a leash.
next to me. She don't need a leash. She run free, doing her thing.
And she don't need a piece.
At all.
Yeah.
But we just had to pee. So many piss breaks during that conversation. Yeah, no mistakes whatsoever. Everything, divine timing.
Yeah.
Always made the right way.
Yeah.
So I never question my instincts. What I need is all within. So without what it is, what it ain't, it don't matter. No drought.
No drought, no drought. Let it all come out, let it all drizzle. Let all the piss, let it all fizzle. Dip, drip, 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 the drip, drip, drip. I got the drip, drip, drip. I'm so sick, sick, sick. 666. They panic. Yo, it's like he's satanic. I got the danger. I'm coming through like a stranger. Things coming out my brain, man. I swear I'm so insane, man.
Yeah.
What I say, man, I can't say the same thing, man. I gotta do so. I'll never reduce myself. I could never ever do the same thing. There's never nothing more to myself. There's 2 myselves. And I'm not the first one, never ever. Not the first, my son, I'm the second. I'm too clever. Every second, put it together. I said I'm not before, I'm after. I'm the next chapter. I said, I'm not the guy on the stage, I'm in the rafters. I'm later, I'm the piece of paper. But I'm actually the piece of paper you crumpled up and threw away, and I was recycled, and I came back. Motherfucker, I'm so vital. You see the name? That ain't even my name. That's my soul's title. What?
I like that. Yeah. That's my soul's title.
That's my soul's title.
I got my songs on title. Give me that revenue. Esmod in Chi-Town, feeling like Nas, cause I think the world is mine now. Wait, cause I do it my way. I'll never take no for an answer. I get it one way or another. Eventually, you know, one day I'ma make it bigger than Master P. More than 85%. I need 100 of that shit. So give it all to me. That's all I need is all my deservings and all my earnings, all my ways that I'ma keep serving my Lord. I'ma keep going and serving my community, putting my people on, making people true to see that I'm the one, that I know I'm the gun. I don't need no gun to get respect. I just put my best foot forward. That you know I don't need no protect, cause I shine on my own. Yeah, you know I don't need no motherfucking hoe, cause I'm just staying focused, yeah, you know that you know this, till the whole world knows this, whole world know this. Esmod's go win big, all the way to the big leagues. Hold up, it's the big leagues, like the NBA. Yo, Ruse said that he wonders, and the Spurs, they just beat the Thunder. And you know that I don't give a fuck, but I'm staying warm like some Bloodburn. But I'm not in Antarctica, I am not no penguin, but I feel like I'm in Madagascar. Yeah, I'm Ethiopian, so you know I'm African. Yeah, you know that's from the same place as Madagascar. So fuck it, that's the hometown. Yeah, you know I just keep on going now. Yeah. Man. That's all I got. Take it over. Chi-town, yeah, you know we taking over.
And I wonder all the time. And I wonder all the time.
Yeah.
And I wonder, cause I think I might be on the brink, and I'm up, and I'm down, and I'm a circle, and I'm round, and I'm here, and I'm now, and I mean, but I'm nice, and I know that I'm right, and I think, and I see, and I flow, and I write. Hold on. Let me move this mouse. Hold on. Let me move this mouse.
Yeah.
Let me move this house. Let me do this thing. Let me do this now. Let me show them now. Let me shout this out. Yo, I wonder about this now. I wonder about a whole lot of things. I wonder about how I wonder. I mean, am I wondering right? I mean, I wonder at night. I mean, I wonder during days. I mean, I wonder and it wanders me astray. I mean, do you wonder too? I mean, I wonder, dude.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it. We ran it back because I feel like I was able to tie it together.
Yeah.
And you kind of helped me because you said I wonder, and I was like,
That's it.
I do wonder.
I do be wondering.
I do be wondering though.
I wonder, but I don't ever gotta wonder about my bread though, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is.
On me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. At the very end of the show, we do two things.
Okay.
The show's for children. Obviously, the show's for 3 to 5 year olds. That's my core audience.
Yeah.
And so those kids that are watching this,
She's too old for the show.
she's too old for the show. She's like 10. She's a big kid.
Yeah.
So the kids that
Big
are watching
mama.
this, they're about to exit I always say school bus, but I just realized, are toddlers even on the school bus? I guess, if it's pre-K. Anyways, the kids are getting off the school bus,
question.
and they're going to enter the real world. They're going to take off their AirPods, and they're going to touch grass. And so it's up to you to give them advice. At the end of the show, we give the kids advice.
Okay.
And then 2, the other thing you got to do, the social medias. Tell people where they can find you, where they can hear your music. This episode comes out roughly a month from now, so you got anything to plug, just keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
But this is your moment to send it home, tell them all the good stuff, and give the kids the advice. The floor is yours.
Okay. The advice that I would give, just general?
Just anything that comes to mind. I try to give you the freedom to give them the advice.
The advice that I would give to anybody listening would be that the biggest thing that you need to remember to know how to do is to trust yourself. And if you have a very, very, very strong foundation and the belief that you have in your own decisions that you make for your own life, things I think will be a lot easier.
That's good. Trust yourself.
Yeah, you trust yourself. That way nobody can ever sway you to do something that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You can stay on the path that you choose to be on because nobody can persuade you off of it because you know what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to be. And that everything, approach life as a gardener, as a farmer, and always focus on planting the seeds of today that someone else will reap in tomorrow. Yeah. And it's not even for us to reap at this point. Like to really selflessly give to the universe and even be able to receive anything back is to understand that the things that we do today is not for our tomorrow, but for the future. And to always be patient in everything that you're doing. And just because you don't see an immediate result in the effort that you put in does not mean that it's not having an impact. Because even if one singular person notices the effort that you put in, then that inspires them to put in their own effort. And that changing the world starts with influencing one person at a time. And staying true to your path and having that patience and understanding that everything you do is impacting the world on a scale that we couldn't even imagine. That, you know, because you influence one person, that person influences another person, so on and so forth, the web grows, right?
Yeah.
And you may not ever get to see like the tangible proof of everything you've done in your life. That is not guaranteed.
Almost always will never get to see it.
Exactly.
Most of the difference you make, you never see.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all about falling in love with the journey and finding all of your validation and your feelings of fulfillment, and understanding that what you do today is going to matter years later, whether you see it or not.
Or it matters right now in ways you don't even recognize.
That too.
I mean, that to me is the ultimate thing. I just realize over and over and over again. I'll talk myself down in my mind. I'll be like, yeah, but. And I just realize through the things people say to me and through the encouragement you get through other people, like, oh, no, people genuinely support. Like, they see this as a whole different thing than what I even realize it to be.
Yeah.
Like, to them, it's something else. And I mean so much more to people than I realize.
Yeah.
Because I'm something else to them. I'm used to me. I know me.
Yeah.
But they think of me as something else entirely. And, you know, I can never let go of that. Because I can't tell you the amount of times I've had people say, like, oh, dude, like, you work so hard. Like, you work so hard. Like, I don't even know how you do it. And I know that means so much to people.
Yes.
Because it's like something that is undeniable, that everybody sees. And it means more than any words could say. And I think it inspires people more than any words could inspire them.
Right.
Like when you see somebody who really works hard.
And wants it.
And to me, that's just, you know, it makes me realize my actions extend so far. To me, to work hard, and you just have to put your head down and just work all the time. You can't think about all the people that are looking at it and responding to it. You just keep doing it. And so when people respond, I almost don't even know what to say, because like I say thank you, and I know they're right, but it's like I almost just kind of want to like encourage them to work hard, because in my mind that's what I want. I just want everybody to work hard.
Exactly.
I just want everybody to do what I'm doing.
But you're leading by example.
Yeah. And so
and
it's
you
awesome.
have no idea how many lives you have changed by people just observing you care, like the way that you carry yourself on your own.
Yeah.
Right.
And right back at you. Like that's your advice, and that goes for everybody. I think, but I mean, like, I think positivity is infectious.
Yes.
And I think believing in people is infectious, and believing in yourself is infectious.
Yes.
And all that stuff starts with ourselves, and people don't give themselves enough credit.
Yeah.
You know, they externalize this stuff, and I think it starts with you. You have to find what you love, that you believe in, and just foster that. And I always felt so lucky I found music and poetry, because it gave me myself. It gave me a thing that was me. And I think a lot of people are just trying to find that thing, or they want to see people who are productive that have that, and they want to chase that.
Yeah.
Because we all have that same urge to be creative and to make something special of our time on this earth.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So yeah, man. Yeah. Look at us. Advice for the kids.
Oh my
and the
God.
social media. You didn't tell them the social media.
Yeah. Okay. So where you can find me on the internet, my Instagram is sapphire.esmod. That's SAPPHIRE.ESMOD. That is my music and like kind of personal Instagram. And then I have a business Instagram called Esmod Enterprises, where I host a lot of events and do my event curation, promo videos, flyers, and all that stuff. And I always am booking artists and people for those type of events too. And then I have a website, which is esmodenterprises.com. And then my music is on all streaming platforms under the name Esmod. And I have a YouTube channel, which is just Esmod Music, and I post a lot of content there too.
Awesome.
So that is where you can find all my stuff. You can stream my second album, Safe Travels, on all platforms, which just came out in September, which was all about me moving to Chicago. So, oh my God, isn't it crazy? And I have like t-shirts and vinyls of my albums and stuff like that, and CDs and stuff like that. So there's a lot to go around. And I'm doing, you said a month from today. So I believe the next show I'll be having around the time this comes out will be, this is actually like a secret, but I'm performing at a music festival called Camp Midnight on July 18th in Crete, Illinois, I believe. CRETE, Crete, Illinois. Yeah. And I go on that day at like 7:25. But it's a super duper sick music festival. It's like on a black owned ranch, and they're gonna have horseback riding and sack racing and a pool and a bunch of performers, like super duper sick performers. And I'm super happy that they invited me to be as a part of it. So that is my next big thing around like end of June and July that I will have coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Look at that.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you for inviting me on.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I mean,
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Spread the word. Tell everybody. Tell all your friends about the magical thing that is Ruse Radio. Okay?
I will.
Because this is a comedy podcast by name, and I do talk to comedians a lot, but I'm a musician, and I know how this whole thing works.
Yeah.
I need to know more musicians if I ever want to be successful. I'm crazy. I'm just crazy. What am I doing? I'm just going to all these comedy shows like an idiot. So I really just want to meet more musicians and talk to more people. So really, just you have any interesting people to send my way. You are a delight. I'm sure you have great friends. So yeah, man. Thanks for being here, for real.
Thank you for having me.
And that has been all, folks, here today on the one, the only Radio. Clocking out. Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock